probability at one point, but Secret just continue to be that ultimate wall, that ultimate high ground defense. You think there's cracks, you think there's little openings, but there's always a trap. There's always the buybacks to turn things around.
Yeah, that one buyback play at bottom river, that was so sick by Team Secret.
Yep.
The way that they baited, Puppey buys back first, puts them in a position they can't really recover, and that's going to be Infamous going down a game early. Looks like Nisha learned not smiling. She's going to walk back.
Trying to keep his calm, trying to keep his nerves.
It's only one game.
The series is not over again. Who knows what's going to happen in game 2? For that, we're going to turn to our panel.
Don't smile. That appears to be the secret. Nahaz, really quick, kind of what is your take of that first game now that we've seen these two teams go head-to-head?
Absolutely amazing. I think you saw everything that we talked about, from the strength of Infamous's early game to the ridiculous Dota that Secret played yesterday against Minaski. Mid-1 coming up huge now in 2 straight games for that team.
Neil, how do you feel about these two squads? What do you think Infamous's best hope is in this series?
I had originally criticized Infamous for being one of the least versatile teams in this tournament. Then they go out and pick a Ricky, who has not been selected at all in this entire tournament, and a Phantom Lancer. And I get it. We did see him, though, and he lost. And we also saw Phantom Lancer here that's not particularly popular at this tournament, maybe rightfully so.
I mean, it does fit, though. If you think about it, it's weird, but if you were going to replace a Slark mid, Riki kind of fills that same role. You know, mobile, low HP core, but good laner, and then all of a sudden you're active on the map, and that's how Chris Luck likes to play. He wants to make things happen so that Hector has some time to get into the game.
Deny mechanic. We talked so much about the refraction and Tidebringer changes, where these two big mids no longer get their free denies. Backstab still works.
I also want to ask, why is this hero suddenly popping up more and more in the meta? Well, not so much yet, but we heard, not at this tournament, but we kind of heard from Gunnar. It's something that he was starting to see more leading up to the tournament. What is it that allows that to happen?
It's hard to say. I think it's just maybe the area control that Ariki provides. You've got the ability to just kind of dominate a certain area of the map while you can just kind of make plays with these very cheap items. You saw the double Wraith Band into upgraded boots, natural like drums and diffusal buyer. Like, you can get 6-slotted really quickly, whereas other heroes take a lot more time, especially with a slower meta like Midas Radius and so.
Now, I know the other thing that you wanted to talk about, Kyle, was actually an engagement that went down in the Roche pit.
Yeah, of course. We wanted to educate some of our newer viewers here at TI and just go break down how a fight around Roche is theorized. The idea, you want to guard the pit, and you can see Infamous, they place their 3 sentries, the mag sentries, of course, not being the ward, but the heroes. Boom. Arrow. Secret's completely aware this is happening now. They pop invis, they try and immediately engage towards the pit. Infamous, they've got all their damage inside. They're trying to rush it, and if you watch just about here, they do what you want to do to defend the pit. You keep your core in the crease, killing the Aegis, and immediately collapse. You want to take out this choke point, and you're going to see why in a second. The Secret heroes, they have terrain walking. The 2 cores, Void and Mag, they can come over the side. But unfortunately, the rest of the draft is stuck here. All their damage is happening in the river. PL's just cleared the Roshan, and now we can leap forward into the engagement. You can see the Echo is about to be forced by mid-1. This is useless. This is a PL with Aegis. We don't care anymore about damage taken by this hero. Worst case, you respawn. Now the Chrono comes in. There's still 2 heroes here outside of the pit, nowhere close enough to help provide damage. The silence, not even necessary. But they clean up the Tiny, they secure the Aegis. Just a very well thought out fight from Infamous, and unfortunately they weren't able to close it out, of course, but they do certainly understand the mechanics of defending this objective and denying choke points.
That was awesome. I just said that was actually awesome. We haven't gotten to do too many of those segments. You draw really fast. That was actually just really impressive. Thank you very much for that, Kyle. We have plenty of more stuff that's going to be coming up, though, right now. We actually want to throw it down to Casey. This one's going to be a lot of fun.
I'm excited about this one, too. So as you've seen from some of our interviews already, we always do a Media Days interview. We spend a lot of time with as many different members of as many different teams as we can, sitting down, getting serious, getting to the heart of what the last year has been like. But at the end, we like to lighten it up a little bit. So we ended this year of media interviews with what I like to call rapid fire. Show me what's on your phone. All right, rapid fire questions. What is the last text message you sent?
This is very personal. Why do you ask?
I feel violated here.
Let's not do that.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Well, yeah, I lost my shoes in Philippines. That was my last message. My Skechers. Fuck my life.
April 8th.
What? What's the last text message you sent?
Like heart smileys to my parents.
Good night, my love. A couple, kissing hearts.
Was that to Misery?
Last text message. Probably not for a camera.
Can you paraphrase?
I texted my mom. I said, I love you. Today is the last day for my dog's medication. Cute little puppy.
Who is the last person you texted?
I texted a female.
A female.
Yeah.
Who was the last person you said I love you to?
Probably Zai.
Aww.
You know, mine's Yazid actually.
My girlfriend.
My girlfriend?
My mom.
What are your most used emojis?
Oh.
Pigeon one, easily.
You in slacks.
Are you also pigeon?
Yes.
He's a smart guy, what can I say? Like, look at the WhatsApp pigeon, it looks so good.
That is terrifying. What about the heart emoji for your beautiful wife?
Just heart is not enough.
You're both romantics.
Thank you. Poop emoji. The smirky face.
The whimper emoji. Emojis have names? I don't use emojis.
I'm sorry, what?
It's only for your eyes.
Kissy face, leg, poo emoji, eggplant.
Yeah, a raccoon is there too.
Pizza, pirate flag, pig, sheep, burger. Got it. Thanks for getting serious.
Thanks for asking such great questions. All right.
All right, so I kind of figured we would just be having fun with it, but I think we all learned a lot about these guys just from the emoji question, don't you think?
Yeah, I think that the emojis are really telling, and also who your last message is from. Like, sometimes even when I'm on the panel, my mom will call me. I actually have my last message is from my dad actually right now. So thinking about giving him a quick call. Let me see if. Yeah. Hey, Dad.
Hello, son?
Yeah. I'm at TI right now. I just wanted to give you a quick call.
Are we live on stream?
Yeah. You're live on stream right now.
I just wanted to say two things to all the fans. First off, thanks for welcoming my son into our community. And of course, second, shut up, Kyle.
What? We did not rehearse that part.
If mom gets to do it.
I did not approve that. It's once a tournament.
It took me like 5 minutes to get your attention earlier to help break me, to help me like cue into this segment, and you're just furiously scribbling on. That's what you were doing?
Yeah, that's what I was planning. But we were gonna gas you up. I actually wanted you to like jump in the call and be like, hey, like.
He's totally lying right now.
No, I did not tell you to say that. I did not tell you.
You told me to leave my phone in the green room.
Oh man, that's not true. That's not true. You know what is true?
What's true?
We're starting to see Secret fire on all cylinders potentially. If they're able to take down the series, how does the whole tournament look for them?
It's certainly a confidence booster, but this is a series they're supposed to win, right? I feel like most people have already counted Infamous out, and it's just that first game. I loved what I saw from their draft. We all thought from the first 4 picks, Secret was way ahead, and then they have this really cool concept, the Riki and the PL. If they had been able to do a bit better in the mid-game, I think they perhaps close it out. They were inside the Secret base for a while, but just didn't go their way.
I kind of want to bounce off something that we actually heard Blitz say during his last cast. He kind of brought up the idea that he thinks that Secret is the most exciting team to watch right now because of their play style. Neil, do you think that that is something that we are seeing? Do you think that the way that they are actually going about their drafts, the way that they are enacting those drafts as well, do you think it's making for these really exciting games?
You tell me any other coach who's going to come out of that booth, get interviewed by KC, and say that his team's angry? No one else has been doing that, but Secret's doing it because they are angry. This is a series that they definitely think they should have had. They thought they should have had the last series, all the group stage series. Everything short of that is something that they are not satisfied with, and that's something that makes their draft so exciting because they need to keep throwing people off balance.
I want to comment. There was one other thing that Blitz said in that cast that I thought was really important. You asked me in our open, what do you think it takes to win TI? What are the characteristics of champions? Blitz said something during that cast. He said, you know, with Secret right now when they're playing this way, when you're ahead, you don't feel like you're really ahead. And when you're behind, you feel like they just win the game. That, to me, you look back at Wings, you look back at Liquid, you look back at OG last year. The great teams at this tournament, it feels like they have extra lives. It feels like no matter how the game goes, they're going to give themselves that chance to win. And I know everybody's down on Secret, choking at TI, whatever. They continue to play this way. They still got a shot.
Yeah.
And Kyle, I think that you're a person that can really talk about this as well. You know, this is obviously a play style where you start thinking of the word momentum. I think you know more so than a lot of people, like how big momentum can actually be up there on the main stage.
Oh, for sure. Well, unfortunately, I only know how it functions in the reverse, because usually if you start losing, it continues. But looking at the way that last game was played, I can't talk about PhD Dota like Alan can, but I think Infamous needs to go back to what they were playing earlier in the series. Kindergarten style, all right? I want Slarks, I want Wraith Kings. It's so difficult to execute at a high level. Yeah. Heroes like Silencer and Magnus and Riki and PL, it's like you don't really have a sense of the flow of the fight as you would with just, you know, stun him again.
So when you say kindergarten style, you're kind of going back to an idea that I think all of us have said on the panel before, which is just ease of execution. You're looking for something that they can put together and have that ease of execution. I also want to really quickly, before the teams do come out, I know that they are going to be getting ready right now. You know what? We don't need to talk about it because the teams are already making their way to the stage. We're going to take a look. Let's see if this is going to be a 2-0 or if we'll make it all the way to Game 3. And now the team's taking the stage. We already know that Secret's been able to pick up that early momentum. But the question is, are they going to be able to do it again? One of the ideas that I do want to talk about is stuff that's happening inside of their laning phase as well. I also do want to say, if you look at overall tournament momentum, yes, they're at the same spot. But I think if you are Infamous, you're definitely going to be feeling a little bit of extra wind in your sails.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I think it's still Infamous with momentum.
Sure.
Secret, like, they won't be satisfied with anything but a win. Like, they're still trying to play catch-up after losing to EG in the upper bracket.
And Infamous has already set a record for their region. This is the best placement that the region has actually had at TI. But to get a little bit more insight as to what their goals are for this tournament, let's see what they had to say to Casey before TI even got started.
Schofield and Stinger of Infamous, welcome.
Hola, gracias.
Hola, ¿cómo están ustedes?
Buenos.
You noticed the Aegis.
Ya, sí, estamos ansiando tenerlo así para el equipo, ¿no?
I want to start by asking you about Dota in South America, because it is very popular, and I know that people watching Ti9 are going to be very proud to see you play, and I'm wondering how you feel about that.
Pues la gente en Sudamérica es como que bien apasionada por el juego, al menos en nuestro país, en Perú, hay bastantes cabinas y toda esa gente es que pues les gusta el juego al igual que nosotros y pues nos sentimos bien, ¿no? De representarlos y nos están apoyando mucho.
Ya, a ver, uno por otras cosas también que juego Dotes porque es por la gente, por los fans, o sea, me gusta representarlos.
How long have the two of you played together?
3 meses.
¿Solamente 3 meses?
2 meses, pero nos conocemos también antes. Estuvimos en el Infamous, que estuvo en el DPC del 2017 al 2018. Y ahí jugamos también como que unos 5 meses, más o menos.
No one on your team has experienced TI before. So, what do you expect?
Pues esperamos encontrar desafíos, un montón de emociones que nos vamos a encontrar aquí, estamos seguros. Y pues lo principal creo que hemos venido a divertirnos.
There is some positives to coming into TI with no prior experience in a way. Do you feel like that enables you to just kind of play Dota and focus on your Dota and not worry so much about TI being this enormous thing?
Pues sí, ajá, lo vemos como que de esa manera, como que más divertirnos, ¿no? Jugando Dota, porque es lo que venimos haciendo y claro, una meta no es así clasificar al TI, lo conseguimos, estamos muy felices, pero sí, al final del día sigue siendo solo jugar Dota, ¿no? Entonces sí sentimos eso, ¿no? Creo que sí, otros equipos tal vez tienen un prestigio que cuidar, ¿no? Tal vez un top al que llegar, pero nosotros nos sentimos más libres.
How do you think that the South American Dota 2 scene can grow?
Para que crezca la escena pro, yo creo que sería aumentar, no sé, los torneos para equipos tier 2, ¿no? De allá, para que los equipos se esfuercen más, para que haya más equipos.
But you can still win. Anything can happen at TI. You've earned your spot here before we start group stage as one of the top 18 teams. Are there any other players here that you're really excited to meet that you've maybe watched in previous TIs?
En personal, como que ya los he visto, ¿no? Antes, entonces sí es bueno verlos de nuevo, ver alguna especie de química que tienen otros equipos interesantes, como por ejemplo, no sé, a mí me gusta la vibra que tiene Liquid, por ejemplo.
O sea, yo cuando jugué Dota no conocía que había buenos jugadores, o sea, jugaba Dota y simplemente porque era un juego nada más y crecí jugando Dota sin saber, sin admirar a nadie, o sea, simplemente jugaba y ya, se puede decir. O sea, no es que desprecio, no son buenos, no, pero igual no lo veo eso, simplemente juego.
Muchas gracias.
Gracias.
Buenas tardes.
Gracias. No hay más preguntas.
Quiero más preguntas.
Now, we keep talking about the achievements that these guys already have at TI and what they've done for their region, but I think one of the other things we do need to look at is this is just flat out the youngest team we have in this tournament. You hear a little bit in the interview that they're saying, hey, look, like we didn't necessarily grow up idolizing certain players.
Yeah.
But I do want to, and Kyle, you're the one who can answer this the best because you've beaten some Allen Lane before.
That's true.
Now,
he admitted it on the bus. Is that why?
It would, like, if you're in a moment like that, and you're playing against a player who has like all of these big moments, is that something that's going through your head? That's something that we do need to be thinking about as we start looking at these teams right now in the next game.
Infamous versus Team Secret. Game 2.
Team Secret have continued their lower bracket run, up 1-0 against Infamous, the South American hope. What are we expecting to see Infamous change up now that they're down a game?
I was listening to what Kyle said, and I mean, Wraith King.
You just go with the opposite,
first
right?
ban. Yeah, kind of. I mean, Wraith King was first ban, so you can't really go back to that. And that Slark, I don't think you can 9th pick a Slark into like having a 10th open pick, right? So
that happened. They did that once in the group stage. I think against RNG, they got 10th pick Shadow Fiended.
Yeah.
He got solo killed mid, and they lost in 14 minutes.
Exactly, and that's why I think a hero like Ricky, right? There's not. People just don't know how to counter it yet. I mean, they tried the Earthshaker, and actually Chris Luck, he had a pretty good lane versus it. They went back and forth, so I like their draft. I think a few execution errors lost in that game.
So this is cool. They didn't ban the Ench, but they do have first pick on Secret.
Yep.
The expectation is very much that they would not give it to him.
Yeah, there it is.
So Infamous is going to ban their own Ench to defend against the Team Secret Ench.
Yeah.
But all the other bans are the same. They're still trying to keep Infamous away from their core playstyle, this kind of core protect one.
Well, Secret basically get an extra ban since they have first pick, so they get to take out the Magnus. So now Infamous are going to have to dig one deeper since not just their 3 best heroes, but now their 4 best opening heroes have been taken away.
Yep. I almost feel like Infamous might be looking at something like a Shadow Demon because that denies a ton of Hector's heroes, I feel like. And if they have it themselves, obviously, then they can pick up this Lifestealer, this Sven kind of heroes he likes playing.
That hero just denies a lot of heroes right
really
now.
Does. All the carry melee. It feels like it really does.
Even like every strength hero, all these like Timbersaw, Bristlebacks, even Tiny, they lose 40% of their health no matter what.
Yeah.
And Gods, you were on timeout. This hero like should be getting banned,
I think
but like where do you put it in? Like obviously they think, I mean maybe instead of the Omni or something, but obviously they're scared.
I think Tiny, you don't know where it's going to go. The flexibility that they can run at mid, off lane, or even 4 position, it's just so hard to play against. And when he gets that axe timing, Tree Volley is just an insane spell right now.
Yeah, even as a 4, we've seen how much we can do this tournament.
Yeah, you can still farm an Ag Scepter as a 4. These games are dragging. You're going to get your Blink into... You can just go Blink into Ags and then get the Echo Saber afterwards. There's so much room for this hero to get fun.
And there it is. I like it.
Another save, if he can get it during the toss combo. In the early game, it'll save a core.
Yeah.
A lot of damage for this Tiny. This Tiny's going to have like 3k HP at 20, 30 minutes in the game, and 40% of that's just gone at the start of the fight.
Do you want them to pick a core here? Do you think they will? Do you think possibly you go with your Hector hero paired up with that?
Yeah, usually they've been picking their Hector hero pretty early because his lane doesn't matter as much because he's just going to jungle anyway, like level 4. So give him a bad lane and make space for him.
Yeah, where they play like Chris Luck. He'll usually have a good lane, right? He had the, I think, most CS by 10 minutes in, and then after that, he doesn't even care. They'll just go over, and then Hector, that's when he starts farming. So I think we'll probably see that, unless there's like a Whisper hero they really like.
Is it really just like the Lifestealer that stands out as far as these heroes go? Oh, Whisper here is going to be picked up.
Yeah, I think Lifeskiller as well as Sven were both looking good here. I think they're both okay to pick up early, but they do go with the Tide Hunter.
Yeah, just some team fight, a good laner. I know we talked about this hero quite a bit recently about how some people don't really like it that much. It gets picked a lot, and in some of the game it looks a little underwhelming. You have this like 25 talent that makes you really strong with 250 damage, so you can kind of scale into the late game, but it's kind of worrisome when you pick these two heroes that don't really have stuns. Right, like Disruption's a soft stun, it's kind of a banish, and the Ravage is an ultimate, and you can't ultimate for every single solo pick off a game, right? So it's I think they're 5. If it's Shattering them, they need like a 4 or a mid that kind of has stuns so that they can continuously fight, because if they will only Ravage and fight around the Ravage, they're going to have Chrono every fight, and I think Chrono is a probably stronger skill than Ravage.
And I like this, the Void. I mean, they've been first phasing it a ton here, and honestly, a lot of people would be like, well, Tide versus Void, it's going to be really bad. It's not that bad for Void. Like, he'll get harassed a little bit, but once you get like level 5, you start taking that off, you're just going to start like either creep skipping, whatever. It's not that bad. And now you have the team fight, and that's how Secret won last game, right? They had the overall better team fight.
Also, the Void can go into Silver Edge if he really feels the need for it. He's a natural Shadow Blade buyer.
Seems Secret just understand these are maybe 2 of the best cores right now in the game, because you go back, even the start of the group stage, you go back a few months, you'd almost very rarely see cores being picked up, multiple of them in that first stage. But that's what Secret are willing to do.
I know a lot more players are comfortable picking their heroes earlier in the game. It used to be, at least like for me, and like I think a lot of other players, is they'd be really scared of getting countered. So it's like when I'd be picking my an Ember Spear, I'd be like, oh, I don't want the other team to pick like a Nyx to counter me, right? And someone told me, I think it was March, he basically said like, you're a core player, why should we be really scared of these supports? You know, it's like they're just a support, you're a core, you're the bigger hero of the game. You have to overcome these, like walls, these obstacles in your way to like win a Dota game. And sometimes your game's gonna be hard. There's gonna be counters, hero counters, lane counters,
There's always gonna be.
Yeah, no game's gonna be like perfect, right?
Yeah. And that's where playing all these pub games, which is what most of these pros do, can really help from this, because you pick your hero up, you're often playing into those 10-pick counters.
That's why a lot of times even some mids, when they want to practice a hero, they'll just first pick it like 20 pubs in a row. I know like RTZ does it, CCNC will do it. At least from like, I know the NA region more, but they will like just take a hero, like RTZ did with Arkward, for example. He just spammed that hero, and he learned all the matchups. He learned what people would want to pick against it, what people wouldn't really pick against it, what would be really good against, good with, and you got to learn a lot of hero matchups because people would draft around it.
You got to sacrifice your MMR. Honestly, a lot of people say that, but like you might have to sacrifice to learn. Like if you want to be #1 MMR, good for you. But if you want to be a pro player, you have to be willing to learn, as you say.
So they're going to take out a lot of their strong heroes right now in the second phase. They're kind of banning to protect their first phase. With Infamous, the A ban, it helps against Side Hunter. You can't remove the debuff, the Ice Blast. So the Tide Hunter gets a little squishy, and then the team of Team Secret, they're putting on Naga and Mirana, just like a strong 4 with the Shadow Demon.
Always scary. Have you seen him play much? I haven't seen. I mean, I'm pretty sure I can always play it, but I did not see him play Naga.
I don't think they play it because I think it's not like his type of hero, right? Like he likes to be the one hitting creeps. When you're having these illusions hitting creeps, that doesn't feel the same.
It is just one of the best matchup counters to Void, though. And I think that's probably what they understand. Is like, maybe he doesn't play it, but what if he does?
You just get rooted and you can't jump away.
Yeah, and you're just, as a Void, it's so hard to ever find the real Naga. You just have illusions being thrown at you.
You win a song whenever you chrono if you don't BKB early.
I mean, we saw like early in the game when the PL had the diffusal, like this Void had a lot of trouble dealing with it. It's kind of the same with Naga. You get diffused, you're just dead. You're just dead. I do like the Elder Titan ban. Obviously, it's the same as AA. It's something that goes good into there. And, yes.
Bringing back some of the old school classic Void counters.
We are in a Whisper. He played a ton of this hero as well in the qualifiers.
So is this Schofield?
I think it.
Shadow Demon? And a 5 Tide?
That's a good question.
I think they ran a 5 Tide before.
I believe they have. And, Rush level 1's not bad.
Yeah, Doomtide as a 3-4 doesn't sound the greatest. So.
It doesn't. I mean, they could obviously be a support Doom, but from what I've seen them playing, it's almost always Whisper Doom.
Puppy Witch Doctor picked in response. There's a 5 position just to secure that lane to help the Void out, I feel.
I think that's Team Secret watching the replays from yesterday. Their match against Mineski, Ninja Boogie played Witch Doctor against Azai Tide.
Yeah.
And he completely ruined Tide's game for the first 20 minutes. You can't remove Maledict. It's really good against these tanky heroes.
And it's damage inside the chrono, which is always good. There's the Life Stealer. Yep, we figured they took the Shadow Demon. He's either picking that or Sven. Like, I didn't see him taking any other hero.
Hector classic. He likes going Midas. He likes going Radiance on the hero. He can go Howard as well. Kind of help against the Void, pushing the MKB.
Get his casual belt of strength.
Yeah, he's kind of holding his inventory for 20 minutes.
Secret probably looking for some damage inside the chronosphere, I feel, with Yapso's here as well. They have to probably get for it, but I don't go wrong with throwing in some more damage, or at least some follow-up to it.
Yeah, his Mirana and his Vivek are taking out the Enigma.
That late game team fight that Secret loved doing, we saw versus EG in that game too. You have the Enigma, you have the Chrono now. I mean, we didn't talk about, but the Tiny Ags is like almost an end-all be-all of the late game.
Enigma versus both Tide and Lifesteal feels fantastic. The Doom is the maybe one here that can be annoying, but even that is still like a kind of low-cost range. You can't just throw it immediately when you see that Enigma Black Hole come out.
So going into the tournament, a lot of more teams I think prioritized Enigma. Like in the past couple of months, they would kind of first ban and first pick it. And the idea was that it would almost always win your offlane. You get 1 deny per wave. He also just is one of the best heroes to jungle with right now. But a lot of this meta of this tournament has been the 4s a little more free to win. There's more like creep cutting for the 3, so the 4s are like a little more open game, and now they can walk with this Enigma and jungle.
And it might be a Zaya Enigma. That's what we saw yesterday. So who knows? I think that's the thing. Tiny Enigma, they're both going to get far more. That's just how Secret plays, and especially with these two heroes.
You know, ban, that's just kind of a stable mid, I think. That if the Tiny's like a support or an offlane, that they can just throw a lean on mid. He's going to do fine in whatever matchup. It's also really good against a lot of Chris Luck's heroes. The Ember, the Monkey, the Slark. This lane is just going to stun you in the lane, hit you 6 times.
And I didn't see, but I assume Infamous chose last pick. I think for a team like them, getting that last pick for Chris Luck, like he is the most momentum-based mid player, feels like.
Well, which one of Chris Luck's heroes do you think they would like this game? It seems like a hard Slark game.
I think we still got to see Secrets, right? Because I think they're picking their hero last. Because if it is something like, what if they pick Kunkka? Sure, Slark it up. That's the thing. But what do you think Secret's going to pick first? Do you think they need more team fight, or you already have Enigma, Tiny, Void?
They probably need more lane push from their mid. Like the Lina ban would have been good if it wasn't. If they pick something like OD, it's like they're gonna be really greedy. So I think they need like less greedy, more pushing lanes, a little sacrificial, so that your Void and your Enigma can kind of, claw their way up the net worth.
I could see Secret taking a Sniper. In their 9th pick, they've been taking, or their last pick, they've been taking Sniper a lot when they don't see the enemy team's middle. And you have the Chrono, you have the Black Hole.
I'd be a little scared against the last pick.
True. I mean, who really counters Sniper in the lane? Like, what's his worst matchups, you think?
That's true. He doesn't really have that many bad matchups these days.
You can sit back, you can even shrapnel farm jungle. He loves farming the jungle. Mid one is farming it at like level 3 on the Earthshaker.
They're going to run the Tiny mid. They last pick the bad. They get another hero that doesn't really care too much about the team fight spells, like the Ravage or whatever.
Could be a flex 2, 3 or 4 with the Enigma.
Yeah,
so open lanes.
I think it'll probably be a 4 Enigma and Zai on that ABBA.
Yeah.
You got tower push now as well, because they were actually kind of missing a little bit of it besides the Enigma.
The lane's really well against Lifestealer. You won't have open wounds for the chase, so if you ever get open wounds, your shield or removes it, you'll be able to walk away.
All right, you're the mid player, Gunner. You see, you know it's going to be a Tiny mid, not much roaming potential. Who are you asking for?
I think I want something to help with my Lifestealer, to rotate around once he wants to infest. You don't really have good infest targets, because this Doom and this Tide are okay, but it's hard for them to feel comfortable only jumping the backline, right? They want to jump a core and Doom, and the Tide doesn't want to go in first. So something that's comfortable jumping the backline with the Lifestealer, like Storm or an Ember type hero, I think is kind of them.
Hey, it's Storm, because I was going to be like, we don't see him play it that much, and here it is.
They need something that scales. They just had Lifestealer with Tide, Doom, and team fight heroes that no damage, and that's where Storm gives them another late game option.
I like it. I'm not sure how confident he is on the hero. I think I've seen him play in pubs like a fair decent amount, but I don't think he plays it this much this tournament. But it's the same style, right? People are playing it more early game than they used to. People used to go with this Treads, Kaya, Bloodstone build, and now they go Treads, Kaya, and they fight with the Overload talent.
All right, well, that's the end of our Game 2 draft. We've got Sunbeat with Casey on the stage before we hop into Game 2.
Sunbeat, you've always been good at being really transparent with us. Last time I talked with you, I asked how the mood was, and you had just gone through a loss. You said you were angry. How's the team feeling right now?
I think we feel like we need to be cautious. I think it's an easy, it's easy to let go of the control because they're a very respectable team. They're the underdogs, so it's easy to, there's a pitfall. There's a mental pitfall. And I think we're being very cautious, and we want to try to respect them. We do respect them immensely. They've been bullying everyone else, so we want to make sure we do the things right.
All right, thank you so much. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
Yes, it is so important to be able to respect your opponents, as this is going to be quite the series that we have. You saw that Sunbi respected the hell out of him.
Yeah.
He was very worried about that, and that's why we also saw the 45K gold lead.
Oh, yeah.
Where they just don't go for the high ground.
They just built it up more and more and more. You could see the Team Secret, they respect the hell out of Infamous, and they're not going to let them get an opportunity back into this game. We'll see if they can close out the series, though. 2-0, if we're going to tie it up going into Game 2. Secret versus Infamous, and they're going to go for their Lifestealer Storm Spirit. This is a combo blitz that we saw before. We casted one of their games to the group stage, and one of the interesting things about it, they just don't really seem to use the Invest Bomb a whole lot.
I'm going to be real here. Hector is like the most like one-purpose man I've ever seen in my entire life. I've never seen somebody that has just said to himself, you know what, I'm going to use this Invest purely for farm. They did one Invest Bomb the entire game with a Storm Spirit. But anybody that picks Storm Lifestealer automatically goes up in my books. I will love you for doing it. Whenever I see Storm at a TI, it makes me happy, Cap.
I thought you said you wanted to see Storm lose.
Oh, no.
At a TI,
I think he's certainly going to lose because he's bad, but...
Oh, okay,
it still makes me happy.
Really pushing that narrative that Storm needs more buffs, huh?
Yeah.
We'll see how Infamous fares this time. I think Game 1's narrative was really interesting, right? That Secret did give up a lot of the mid-game to Infamous. Infamous, like, dominated that period of time, had that really high win probability, but Secret, they just had a style that seemed to clash really well against Infamous, which is just hold the high ground, wait for the one little mistake to be made, wait for one little mispositioning or initiation gone awry. We're going to see Zai, who does with the open wounds, going to be slowed down quite a bit here. Trying to get away. They have another gush in a second. Can they actually kill him?
Yeah, they've got him.
With the Aphotic Shield for the pullback, level 1.
He went for pull level 1?
I mean, they want that first blood real badly, and thankfully Zai doesn't have miscoil because he's just one hit away, and he's going to get the bounty rune as well. Can they catch up to him? The Gush from Singer finally gets that kill.
Now you've got a level 1 full Storm.
Yeah. Maybe that's the safe lane build, because that's what we're seeing is a safe lane Storm Seer. We're going to have a mid lane Lifestealer for Hector up against mid 1's Tiny.
I really like this Doom pick, by the way. I think it's really nice against the Void. I've been waiting for teams to pick something against the Void. You need either some way to disable him, or you need some sort of hard save. We saw what a hard save looks like in that game, where Liquid had to play against a Tiny. Maybe not the best solution for Lolly, but if you could run at this combination, keep you from getting chronoed, maybe that's the way to deal with it. That's Infamous's hard read anyways, as they give it up again, Cap.
Yeah, they actually have the save from Shadow Demon. They've got the hard disable of the Doom. They've got the initiation and the burst potential of Storm Spirit plus Lifestealer. They seem to have every single answer you would want against a Faceless Void, but Secret do have answers in return. As we're going to see Puppey finally show himself in the bottom lane, trying to get some damage on Schofield, but he isn't scared.
You know what's funny? I think that Tree Volley is straight up like one of the best things in the game right now, if not like the best mechanic. And it's kind of wild because for a while everyone just thought it was terrible.
Yeah.
But the fact that it also applies the Echo Saber hits, it's such an easy way to fight. It just turns Tiny into like some sort of ranged gyro.
Zai gets away into the trees. They're both going to pop their healing selves. Win for the early pickup of the Mist of Avernus. Now Schofield's in trouble as the bash comes out from Nisha. And he finishes him off before the disruption can go out, evening out the kill score.
So something interesting that we noticed about Secret, and the reason why, you know, I was so confident that they were going to end up winning that game despite what it looked like, is because I think they have this like principle established now for TI. Normally what you do when you come to events like this is you think of an idea and you sort of hold strong to it. it seems like they're going for sort of like that old EG Ti9 style. Pick something that can go through BKBs, so you're always dangerous to go high ground against, and then just right out the game, wait it out. Because I think Secret have been in so many mega creep situations, or having like 2 racks up or 2 racks down, where it doesn't actually matter, that it doesn't feel like they want to commit for those racks anymore.
Yep.
And it doesn't really feel like they mind losing one set anymore either, as long as they can win the team fight at some point. As long as you're not getting straight up megaed and held in your base, which is why when they were behind by 45k, or when they were up by 45k, they still weren't able to go high ground.
Yeah.
They said to themselves, like, this is the easiest way, especially with the XP change, for you to just straight up lose the game.
Zai picks up the early miscoil finally and does manage to get himself a deny. But yeah, I see exactly what you're talking about. They basically said to themselves, Infamous were in this position. They tried to go high ground too early.
And they lost.
Through the game. We're not going to do the same thing. And I feel like Secret's probably one of those teams who uses buybacks really well, and that's part of the reason they're able to make these sort of high ground defenses. Maybe a good read on what heroes can be sacrificed to force out an initiation. They're going to try and go for Zai again here. Chris Luck gets a little bit more of a slow. The anchor smash is not quite enough. Zai is going to be able to get off the Aphotic Shield. Does have a miscoil prepared, so if Stinger brings him low but doesn't actually finish him, Zai will get another deny. He's going to try and burrow his way through the trees. He's getting that slow regen up as well. Stinger, gush him once, hit him with the anchor smash. Aphotic Shield immediately comes out, and Zai should be fine now.
Still not having the ideal lane that he wants.
Certainly not. And not as it comes at the benefit of Yapzor, who's going to be playing that 4-position Enigma. The body blocking here, they're really recommitting to killing Zai. The Aphotic Shield goes down, but there's the pull from Chris Luck. He's going to turn and try and actually kill Chris Luck in return, trying to get the deny, simultaneously going for the kill, but Zai misses both.
I'm not entirely sure how worth that is, because Yapzor just got like 2 waves under the tower, and he's already level 3 with Arcane Boots.
And Yapzor is actually going to try and kill Chris Luck here. He does have Malefice.
He's going to hold it for the time being.
He's got the boots advantage as well, but Chris Luck is so tanky with the Ring of Bacillus.
Yeah, Storm naturally has quite a lot of armor to him. But I do think that's the principle that Secret is going to ride for this TI.
Yeah.
Hold high grounds. Don't ever go for high ground yourself unless you're overwhelmingly ahead. And even then, they're playing it so cautious. They've got an SD on their team last game that enabled them to do that.
So let's talk about what Infamous needs to do to be able to break that kind of style. That very reserved, bend, don't break is a term that you frequently use for these kind of styles, right? Just letting the enemy crash into you over and over again. And at some point in time, you're going to break them defensively, and then you maintain control of the map. Like,
I'd like to see Infamous be a lot more patient.
Okay.
Going for racks.
This is quite the man fight between Maledicts and the Shadow Poison. Both have damage options that build up over time, but it looks like Schofield's the one to be able to back down. But top lane, the rotation for mid one, killing Chris Luck. And now Zai trying to chase down Stinger. Yapzor in mid one is going to join him here. An early rotation secures the bounty room, but also gets 2 kills in the top lane.
These are the kind of rotations that we got really used to seeing from mid one throughout the DPC. These really aggressive moves into the side lanes where he doesn't really care how his mid lane's going as long as he's helping that out. But I think the way to deal with it is either you outbreed them and force them into a position where they actually have to make the move. So give yourself the best late game possible.
Yeah.
I think that's one really good way to deal with Secret. And the second really good way to deal with Secret, I think, is the OG principle of hit a timing and then just non-stop control the map. Don't let them ever leave the base. Set up aggressive wards, allow Topson to scour out your jungle, make it really hard for them to ever leave.
So the first one sounds like an EG principle, but the second one, that sounds a little bit more like Infamous's alley. I mean, we've talked about how they can be so aggressive and so good at being able to outplay any teams here, that if they can hit that kind of time with just control. Zai maybe falling here, tries to go for the miscoil, but you could see Infamous were canceling their attacks, trying to force out that miscoil and secure the kill rather than the deny. Now they might be able to get Yapzor as well. He instantly TPs away, though, after the only stun that they had.
So the question then, Whisper getting gone on at bottom, is Maledicted.
Oh, and he gets the bash! Nisha twice now has gotten just the perfectly timed bash to claim a kill.
The question is, do you think Infamous has the better late game? Because that style works when you think you have the better late game.
Yeah. And, well, that question's up your alley then. Do they have the better late game? They
I
have
think-
answers to Void.
I think if they're up like 10K, their lineup is actually really sick.
Okay.
That's when I feel comfortable calling them. Because I think Doom is going to be a really good hero in this game potentially, but his laning phase isn't the easiest, this bottom lane, and Abaddon is such a good hero against him just because he's able to constantly throw out the Aphotic Shield, the Miscoil, keep people alive. Because when you use Doom, you want it to be a finishing spell. It doesn't feel good to just use it to get somebody out of a team fight.
Dude, look at this. Minwan's using his illusions to try and get more and more chip damage on this off-lane tower. Secret very clearly have this idea that this early tower damage matters. Nisha did it in the first game, and now we see Midwan do it as well.
It is going to push up the lane of Whisper, which is why Mid-1 wants to get aggressive here. Maybe even try to set something up, but Whisper going to pop this Scorched Earth, bring the creep wave back a little bit, and they're going to concede that first tower of the game.
Yeah, that 1-1-4 build. Maxed out tree throw, that is deadly.
And what's so
City's
scary
early
about
towers.
this combo, this Faceless Void Tiny combo, is you know at some point they'll get it off. And that's
Yeah.
going to be sure death for anybody. Infamous this time around, though, they do have two things that I really felt like they needed. One is a way to deal with the Void, and two is some sort of hard save against the Tree Volley, which is the Shadow Demon.
Chronosphere, they killed Whisper before they are going to be able to get back. Shift their back, Nisha! What are these procs? Can the Scopefield actually save him? He does have the disruption. One of the Maledict procs is actually going to be taken down, but he gets another bash! Nisha! This guy, he just keeps on bullying poor Whisper, and the luck is on his side.
3 levels of time lock, but nice rotation from Schofield. What I'd like to see is maybe even a rotation down towards that bottom lane with the Doom.
Okay.
Hector already has the Midas. Hector's game has been sick.
Well, he's going to need to return back to lane. The Paralyzing Cast doesn't bounce and hits the Lifestealer in time. Hector does manage to get up to that top lane and collect all that farm.
There's like this small contingent of Infamous fans that are just super hype, cheering them as they get into the booth.
And I love that too, because it makes me kind of feel, because I know there are so many fans watching online right now, just cheering their hearts out for their team. This is the best that South America has ever done in a TI by a mile.
Oh, I'd love to see a Game 3. We've casted so many Infamous games that watching their journey and seeing how far they've been able to come,
it's been quite inspiring. But Secret, they're just mowing down towers right now. Mid-1 has made 2 different side lane rotations that have, in the end, resulted in towers falling. Now the team is going to join him in the mid lane, where Zai, with that early level of the Curse of Avernus, helps them chip away at it. And Infamous just not really capable of fighting yet, because they've got a 5-position Tidehunter, so no Ravage up yet. He's going to have to wait until the Tome spawns.
I think what they learned about last game,
Zip in, they're gonna be able to pull back into the mid lane, trying to go for Puppy, but mid-1 with that Invis Root, may just be able to get the toss up, and Chris Luck, there's just not enough damage out from that toss combo with the maxed out tree throw. So
still surprised that he decided to go for that though.
Yeah.
That's not an easy kill with the amount of farm and levels that you have. For Infamous, I think they're being punished. What Secret learned, I think, about the last game was that they don't really defend towers early on because they have 2 greedy side lane cores.
Yep.
They've got Storm plus Lifestealer, and they've got Doom. It's hard for these heroes to fight without having farm first.
Oh, Chris Luck just blew so much of his mana mid-1, forced him to use that, and that's where Puppy strikes as he comes down from the high ground, catches them with the Paralyzing Cask, and Chris Luck does fall.
And Chris Luck, and you love that cockiness from him. It's sort of what gives him his strength, but
yeah,
at the same time, it'll cost him his life.
And it's costing him his net worth too. He is 2nd in CS, but he's down at 6th in net worth.
Yeah, even behind Yapzor.
Jump on a Hector. He does have the rage, but they do have the Black Hole in return with a Death Ward. All that physical damage and the hole through that magic immunity is good enough to get the kill. That is the top net worth hero in the game, falling.
He absolutely did not expect to die like that.
Now trying to chase down bottom lane, Zai. Holding on to a skill point here, ready to level, borrow time when needed. Nisha's going to show up, does have the Chronosphere, but he's going to try and get Stinger without using that big team fight ability. It looks like he's got him too. These bashes are just always on time. Chris Luck over the mid is actually going to be able to get the kill on a mid-1 as the rotation comes out. Now can he chase down Yapzor? The loser spray. Find him, he spots him, he has the mana, and he's going to be able to pull him back. Whisper, don't need to use the Doom, my friend. Chris Luck is pulling all the heat right now.
Nice, and that aggression finally pays off for him. This is what they need out of Chris Luck. He needs to sort of go for that playstyle where he just doesn't care runs in, tries to create space for Hector. This is what I meant by their 1 and 2 players have so much synergy. Hector already knows that he needs space. Chris Luck reads the same thing, says, I just have to go in. You can't play Storm like a 1 position, which I think a lot of people like to, but in a game like this, you have to front face for your other cores.
And in some of the group stage matches, it was Whisper who had to take on that role of just fearlessly diving in with like his off-lane Tusk game. That was the most suicidal Tusk I've ever seen, but he was just constantly trying to create that space. Here in the playoff games, it seems like they've been giving Whisper a little bit more scaling, a little bit better situations. And it's Chris Luck who's had to do all the diving. Stinger is going to throw out the Ravage. Does manage to nail 3, but he will fall to the Maledict here, trying to execute Puppey with the body shield plus Miscoil. That's too much heal. And all of that, Chris Luck trying to dive away with the Chronosphere. Does manage to catch him. They do have the disruption, though. But how much mana he doesn't have. He does have 11 magic wand charges. He's going to pop that now. 1 jump away, but he does have the Maledict on him. The paralyzed bring it forward. So he follows it, bounces over to Whisper as well, stunning him. And Chris Luck falls. Now the toss back in design, trying to get that silence up onto Whisper, who's slowed down so much. His base boots and drums just will not get him out of his hell. That Secret is created in the mid lane.
And that tier 2 tower already gone. Secret taking advantage of the fact that Infamous, they want to push this potentially slower pace, not really allowing them to just set up, farm. And this is the fastest we've seen somebody try to play against Infamous. We talked about how Secret likes to go for the high ground, but
it's kind of crazy that they're doing it with slow heroes too. Enigma, Faceless Void, this Abaddon is another one. He usually just likes to sit in lane, but they're just grouping up early.
I think partially what it is because Infamous's 3 cores are even greedier in a way.
Yeah.
And they have no answer right now for this Enigma with Mac. What Infamous needs to do is push out the side lanes pretty aggressively, start cutting waves. You can't allow Secret to just set up around your towers. Because Secret is just systematically 1 by 1, tower by tower, running you down.
You need another 60 seconds for the Ravage from Stinger. But honestly, there's just no more objectives to hold anymore. Just that bottom tier 2 is the only remaining outer tower for Infamous, and 14 minutes in the game. As a result, Team Secret have a 3,000 net worth lead. Stinger's gonna be gone on, paralyzing cast. Can he TP away? Gets out of vision of the Death Ward, but he's in trouble. He's not gonna go for the TP out.
He's gonna try to swim his way out.
That's a Blink Dagger now for Midwan after being a part of that kill. You know, the interesting part is that Lifestealer still has the highest net worth in the game, and Secret only have a 3,000 net worth lead. What this means is, if Infamous can actually win a fight and start taking some towers, all that team gold that they're gonna get, that net worth advantage that Secret has right now, it's gonna change in a hurry.
Yeah, I could definitely see Infamous still win team fights, just because they have Ravage and Doom. If you line fights up and Secret gets too over-aggressive, you will win team fights.
Yeah.
The only thing they've got to be careful about on the side of Infamous is waiting a little bit too long and allowing Secret to take too much of the map over, because there will come a time where the net worth disadvantage is just a little bit too much, and they've got too many items. So Infamous, I really like what they're doing. They're trying to make the best of a situation. Hector's still getting farmed, but you have to look for a fight at some point.
They're gonna give up that last tower. Zai takes it cleanly with Midwan having his back, and they're all just sitting in the jungle right now, waiting for their smoke opportunity.
Yeah,
they
here we go.
have Ravage.
This is something that they need to do. Just because you like fighting or farming doesn't mean you can entirely avoid the concept of fighting. You eventually have to make some sort of play around the map, and that's why they're all gathered up around here.
They don't break the smoke
real
on
aggressive
the tier 2. They're going to go wrap all the way around. The Yapsor's going to get spotted now. Should be slowed down. The 3-man up the black hole. They need a disruption, but they know. Oh, now the Chronosphere actually lock another 3. Schofield, he's going to be caught here. Looks like he's going to be dying inside that Chronosphere. Yapsor with the mech is actually still staying alive. They throw out the Ravage, but it doesn't actually hit Yapsor. Is he getting out of here? The Maledict being used. Hector has a rage up in 1 second's time, but now all of Secret is here, and they just got to use everything they have to be able to retreat. Stinger's going to get caught inside the trees. Hector trying to get away, finally blows that Ravage to be able to dodge the avalanche back over to Stinger, who's going to fall. They just did not respect Yapsor's Enigma enough. They could have blown Doom. They could have used an earlier disruption. So many things could have been used there.
Problematic thing was that Schofield ran away from the fight, thinking they had him for sure, but he actually needed to be in position of disruption. If he's able to get that off, maybe that fight goes a lot cleaner, but it was the idea that he wanted to look for more after.
Hector with his Animitis and Infest. This is a guy who has a different idea about lifestealing. He's going to be using his Infest to farm like 9 times out of 10. When he's not using it to farm, he's probably using it in team fights as an escape mechanism, not as an initiation tool.
Yeah, this guy is going to use this to never team fight. The way he's going to come back into this game is to use it to farm even more. And that's why Secret are going to take advantage of that. They know what Hector's about. They're going to go in for the Roshan. And it's in fact going to be Infamous that now has to potentially learn how to hold high grounds at this early state. They've been aggressive so far.
He's just going to try and go in with a Scorched Earth. Chris Lock holding around. Mid-1 makes his jump in, though. He's going to be able to catch the Doom. Doom survives. Whisper can get off a Doom somewhere here, and he uses it onto Nisha, but Nisha's plenty healthy, especially with the Phonic Shield on him. But Singer's here. No Ravage, but they will manage to execute. Yeah,
the clap by Rose.
They're going to jump back in. The clap for Rose on the Phonic Shield. Can they finish off Nisha? They need a little bit more than double damage. The final hit, he gets him. Whisper finishes him off. Now Singer trying to hide from the Death Ward, but everyone from Infamous has thrown their lives into this fight to slow down Team Secret. It's gonna cost them 4 here. Schofield will take a little time, but eventually he does fall to Zai. That entire time, Hector was farming. He is so close to his Radiance, but Roshan is so close to dying in Team Secret.
Look at this, they know that he's used a Rage to farm Whisper in this area, mid-1, looking for more, but
they're gonna run into Whisper first. He's there to help guide Hector. The Radiance is on its way. They're so close to being really strong right now. If they could just stall out Secret for a little longer.
This would be sick if they could get the Aegis themselves. It's so low, just at about 2,000 HP. Infamous should know about this. They walked into the pit to see it. That's why Secret is still holding this area, but they don't have the black hole.
They now have the Ravage, but he needs to be able to get it off. Stinger, he will be able to get away from that initiation from mid-1 into the back line. Oh, the Chronosphere doesn't jump far enough. Chris Luck saved by the disruption, though. He'll be okay. Stinger limps away at just a little bit of HP mid-1. He's going to be gone off by Hector, being burned out by the Radiance, and now on the high ground, Chris Luck is ready to make his reinitiation with Whisper, sandwiching him from behind.
This looks good for Infamous.
Over time. Infamous, can they actually win this one? The buybacks are coming in. Can they finish off these heroes before the paralyzing cast? Chris Luck jumps away again. He managed to get back, but they hold. They don't want to go into the tier 1s. They don't get too ahead of themselves. They know they force so many buybacks out of Secret. They need to play a little bit scared. They're going to leave Schofield behind here.
Roshan, the bigger goal right now.
They know they're going to have the black Roshan. But can they actually get inside the pit? They've used so many abilities. Mid-1 chasing him away. Is Chris Luck going to do it?
He's going to
try and jump in.
3, 2, 1.
Empty slot. Nope, can't get it. He's going to try and jump in the last second. Jumps into the high ground using all of his mana, but Stinger will be caught here. Infamous. They managed to force so many buybacks out of that, but in the end, Secret was so strong with those buybacks that they guaranteed Roche.
That was not bad at all, though, from Infamous. No. They've demonstrated they can win team fights, especially when Secret. They don't have that black hole as a threat. And if you're put in a position where you have to solo Chrono the Storm Spirit, it makes it really easy for Schofield to get the save. Mid-1 did have to use the buyback. And Infamous only down 2k gold now. Their heroes are tanky, not easy to lock down, and you can see the seeds of how they can potentially win team fights.
Oh yeah, I mean, that fight was so close to really breaking Secret, and we talked about how if they do get broken, we're going to get Roshan for Infamous, we're going to turn that into towers, and all of a sudden, all this network that still is on the map, all these towers just represent little piggy banks that can be cracked open and giving gold to Infamous. That network is going to slide in their favor, and very rapidly, they could take full control of the game.
What an interesting meta where everyone just saves their back now. Even cores, because they know they're about to take that fight. Instead of buying out your Ogre Axe or anything like that, you know, they're just going to hold on, wait in case they take a fight.
Looking at Chris Luck right now, but Schofield's not too far away. They're trying to bait him.
Infamous's position in that team fight was perfect. The way that they were able to corral and wrap around. You got Chris Luck on the high ground, 2 people marching in from the side.
Saigon jumped. Not sure how much they want to commit to this hero that has to borrow time in from behind. They're going to go for Stinger, trying to force out the Ravage. They do manage to lock down him and Schofield, who's going for the disruption. The Yapsor threatening the black hole from the low ground. Disruption out, but Schofield's still dead. All the cores of Infamous will be able to get out, it seems, is mid-1. Trying to chase him, has a blink up in a second, but I just don't think Avalanche and maybe a toss back. It's going to be close, but Hector just making sure that mid-1 doesn't feel comfortable going for it.
And we'll see what Secret ends up doing here. In the previous game, they were so cautious about trying to siege into the high ground.
They do have A very low siege wagon. They can finish that off rather easily. Looks like Secret can't go for it just yet.
Yeah, and it looks like they're going to hold strong to that idea that they have about Dota. Just back out, continue to try to control the map. Don't have to go high ground until you get wiped.
Yeah. But with such elusive heroes like the Storm Spirit, it's hard to keep those side lanes pushed in. It's hard to deny that farm away from a hero like Storm. And I think they know he's forced a rotation. That's why Crystallock's going to be able to TP down to bottom. Trying to finish off Puppey here. It's so close. The TP does not go
Nice
off.
infest.
Good infest range from Hector. And he farms up yet again. This time it's a hero.
That was one of those convenient things.
Yeah.
I think he was loath to use that infest there.
Yeah. But it works. And now he is looking at an Assault Cuirass, or maybe, no, sorry, Heaven's Halberd. He's already got the Sange. That would really help against this Faceless Void, who represents a lot of damage right now in these team fights because Nisha is so farmed with the whole Mjolnir.
That's good damage right now, but Infamous don't have the best way to deal with this Abaddon 4.
Yeah. See, the last time they tried to go for Zai, Zai wasn't scared. He's got the borrowed time. They don't have any way to break him and silence him.
And the illusions are so good in these positions.
Yeah. Just chasing down poor old Schofield. Lets out a little frustration in the all chat wheel. 22-10, approaching the 25-minute marker here. Secret still holding that 3,000 net worth lead they've had for most of the game. But this entire time, Hector, the big carry of Infamous, the one everybody's been talking about, he's been getting bigger and bigger. He's now got Radiance, Halberd, and he's sitting inside an Ancient Granite Golem. That's so hard for Secret to deal with right away. Nisha's gonna try and lay his physical damage into it. Schofield breaks the smoke of Yapzor. Yapzor is going to try and jump forward. Min1 does manage to find the initiation first. Schofield dies. Whisper is now going to be chased down by Nisha. Singer positioning himself for the Ravage, ready to go. Holds onto it now. The Ravage actually not going to go off as he gets Chronosphered up, but Singer's also simultaneously not going to die until the last second. He finally gets it off. Controlling up some heroes, yes, but there is no fight to be had for Infamous.
Yeah, you saw the creep come in for a second, and then he just backs out completely. Hector sees that this is a sinking ship. Crystallock the instant.
Glyph goes down. He tried to cut the creep wave. He does have a haste rune, so he's making the most of it.
He has to make this sort of play. I really like it. It's gutsy, but they're so far behind, and they can't take fights right now. And that's the scary part for them.
Yeah.
They just don't have the team fight at this point. So Crystallock, you've got to buy time for the rest of your team.
I almost wish that Singer had held the Ravage, because that fight was very clearly over.
Yes.
Like the Chronosphere being used, if he's still on Ravage right now, Infamous could be the ones playing on the offensive.
Yeah, but by using the Ravage in that position, it makes it so you have to wait again.
Yeah.
And that's twice that's happened, where Stinger uses that Ravage reflexively, thinking that there's a team fight, and it ends any sort of counterplay that Infamous can make. Because right now, it should be Infamous. No Aegis, you would have Ravage and Doom up, you could get aggressive without Chronos.
But instead, it's Secret who aren't going to hold control of this game. Trying to hunt down Crystallock, who's going to pop out. Min1 spots him, Avalanche, but Crystallock's faster. Does manage to get the jump away. Even if he's caught by the toss, he can still make a long enough jump. Yapzor almost intercepted him. Good thing that Crystallock had the read to run into the trees with that ball lightning, rather than down the lane and try and like farm up some creeps or something. Look at this. Secret immediately moving into the mid lane. They're going to be able to catch Whisper, toss him straight up in the air instead of back to the supports. Whisper does have the Crimson Guard. He's super tanky, but the Maledict's making him so much squishier, and he's going to take out. Now, the Black Hole being used on the Hector, immediately canceled, though, as a good disruption from the side. Got Schofield his life, but at least he's able to get Hector out of that engagement.
That's perfectly fine. Now you've traded the Shadow Demon for the cooldown of the Black Hole. That'll be worth it, and it coincides with the time that Ravage is going to come back up. Because Whisper didn't use Doom, he'll have that.
Yeah.
And this is the time I feel like you have to fight if you're Infamous. Now that there's no Black Hole, yes, there is Chrono, but you'll have Doom, you'll have Ravage. Hector, I guess you could wait for his AC, but timing-wise, it feels like this is one of the better times that they could fight. Plus, they have a DD on their Storm.
We'll see if they're able to make the hold here. The BKB is coming in for the Faceless Void. Nisha has it now, so very important that Whisper does manage to get the Doom off on him, or maybe Yapzor. But Yapzor doesn't have the Black Hole, so I suppose he doesn't really make up much of a threat.
No, not quite yet.
But Secret continuing that philosophy of gaining enough ground, not going high ground, just trying to control the map. The Assault Cuirass, man, that is not that far away for Hector. And he's willing to buy out. You were talking about how it's interesting this meta, so many of these teams are willing to hold buybacks for the opportunity to win a team fight.
Yeah.
Infamous is like one of the few teams that doesn't seem to do that. Even in late game, they just seem to buy out all the time.
It's it's so endearing, like that they're just willing to sort of treat it like a pub.
Yeah.
That's sort of what made them like my favorite team so far at this TI, because they just do things that no other team really does. Like where Hector refuses to use Infest to hop into any of his teammates to take fights. It just reminds you of like some core in your pub game, like you're pinging him and out of spite, he's using it to pop out of creeps.
Okay, so he's got Heaven's Halberd and the evasion talent now on the Lifestealer. He just got seriously strong, but Infamous cannot afford any more pickoffs, and Stinger is going to run headlong into mid one. Tossed up in the air. It is still your 5 position. Even if it's Tidehunter, it's still your 5 position. This is space where Hector immediately TPs up to the top lane because he just saw everyone on the right-hand side of the map.
That's the funniest part about Infamous is they're more than willing to trade their supports for farm.
Yeah.
That is the real trap card that Infamous will always play. You might have caught Stinger, but now Hector's farmed 18 more creeps.
He has.
And that's something that I wish people appreciated more, and I should probably push too, is that the supports do die for him. It's not like Hector gets the space out of nowhere. It is his supports, it is Chris Luck trying to make space for him, pushing out the waves very aggressively so that he can find the space to hit neutrals where he knows Secret is 4-man clumping.
Yeah, just watch what Chris Luck's going to do here. In Secret, they've been reading this timing pretty well. He's going to try and hit the tower and he immediately gets caught by the Chronosphere.
He got read like a book.
He really did. What would you call it, a prize fighter? Being able to read the movements?
Yeah,
This is
Secret
exactly
is
Secret.
really determining the rhythm now of Infamous.
I mean, just being able to have a defensive ward like that near your mid-tower where you're controlling all of the map, that says a lot about how much they know about Infamous and the way they move around, the respect they have for those plays. Soul Catcher makes mid one a little squishy here. He
That
backs
would've been
away
such a
thanks
good
to the
fight.
Glimmer Cave.
If he was able to grab that sentry down a little bit quicker, maybe they get the purge on the mid one and they can grab that kill.
Secret finally going to go for the high ground push here, but there is a buyback on the Storm Spirit. So if Infamous can find the right kind of opening here. Hector, open wounds with an AC. It is so hard for them to actually challenge him, especially with a Soul Catcher. They don't feel comfortable fighting. And not finishing that tier 3, so they may go back for it here. It only needs 1 or 2 hits. But that'll be 15 seconds left on the Storm Spirit.
Yeah, we'll see if Secret are correct in going for this high ground. So far in this tournament, they've been so loath to do it, but they grab the tower.
But are they going to get punished for it, Hector? He's not going to go forward. Tier 3. Oh, I like this a lot. Look at this. With this fast smoke, Secret may try and hit a shrine or something on their way out.
One time for the boys. Hector, get into Chris Luck.
He will not.
Oh, if he uses this to farm, Hector, don't do it.
Man, he's so strong right now with the AC too.
Yeah, but he has to be dealing some damage at some point. They need this net worth to lead to impact.
Yeah. About to.
All right, he's gonna infest for those newts.
He kills
for
the
that
Siege Wagon.
I'm in for it.
And with that, he will be the first to cross over the 20,000 net worth line. He just doesn't seem to be scared of Nisha at all. Not scared of a Chronosphere, all these evasion talents and items.
I honestly love it. I'm gonna start doing this in my games.
No, please don't. You're not Hector.
I'm not Hector?
You're not Hector. Hector's good enough to do this.
It just changes everything I know about Storm Lifestealer.
Yeah, dude.
That's really what it does. It just messes with my head. It's like Hector's got this flowchart in his head. It's like, anytime I'm not farming, I'm not gaining gold. And anytime I'm trying to go for a gank, that's 30 seconds that I'm not getting farm. It's like, there are creeps on the map, farm. There are heroes on the map, avoid them and farm.
And Secret, they very clearly read the way that oh, Schofield, he's dead. The smoke up from Secret's going to find the opening on the 4 position. Another hero that does have buyback, though. And Chris Luck is already in a position to be able to split push.
Yeah, maybe this forces them back, but not without taking Roche first. And if Schofield buys back in this position, this would alert Secret to the fact that there is going to be a 5-on-5. But I don't know if you can give up this Aegis and Cheese if you're Infamous. That's going to be another, like, 6 to 8 minutes of just waiting.
Thinking about running into the pit, but it's too late. It's already dead. Hector actually coming in from behind here, trying to catch one of the supports. Pops the Lincolns on a Yapzor.
He's got to be careful. They have so many different ways to break
and
for
now
this.
with no range, he's going to be in serious trouble. He needs to be able to get an defense target. Here comes the Sword Spear, but no, he dies. He's controlled up.
And the cast bounces on him.
Spear does manage to catch Stinger. They do manage to get Chris Luck out of there, but this is a disaster for Infamous. The toss forward of the Enigma to make sure that Whisper knock it out alive. 3 dead on Infamous after a successful Roshan for Secret, and now's the time to break the high ground.
Didn't even have to use the Black Holder. Yapzor was able to hold it, and with 3 dead, Secret finally feel the relief. Are able to go high ground.
And that'll be at least 1 lane of barracks. We'll see if Hector's gonna buy back. Storm is here. I have a feeling Infamous just has this read that Secret's, they can't actually beat them in a fight right now. So better just to not use this net worth. They're gonna find the opening here onto Schofield. Disruption, time dilation, slowing down Schofield as well. Now he's gonna buy back with Ravage going down on so many heroes, but instantly, look at that borrowed time, and the black hole! It's perfect, locking down the 2 cores! Hector, as well as Chris Luck, about to fall inside that black hole, and that's just it. Infamous. They're gonna fall here as Zai combined with Yapzor, the borrowed time into a Phonic Shield and the black hole immediately afterwards, catching everybody. Infamous. They played one hell of a tournament. They're just dancing
with each other.
But it's looking like Secret. They're just gonna go for the tier 4s here. So much time left on Infamous that it just seems impossible. Whisper, he's hoping he'll lure them into the Fountain Impossible, dropping some items, dancing around them. What a fun team to watch. What a charming team to watch. But sadly,
till the end, they'll do this.
Till the bitter end, they will drop their items, do their taunts, drop their sprays. Going for Puppy. Oh no, the Lincolns. And that's it. GG is called. Team Secret will 2-0 Infamous. The Cinderella story will end here against the TPC champs.
And that was Secret just hard reading them all around the map. They did such a good job of finally figuring out the timing of Infamous. So many other teams failed at doing so.
Yeah. I mean, we heard Sunbeat, they said that they really respected Infamous. They were knocking a lot of teams out of the tournament. You could see it in their play as well. The way that they prepped, studying Infamous. They knew exactly how Hector was going to be playing that Lifestealer, had a plan to combat it as much as possible, taking those early towers, pushing the tempo of the game, because they knew that Infamous is a dangerous team if they get in their element.
Let me say, now that they're out of the tournament, they were my favorite team to watch.
Yeah.
Easily. Me and Cap actually requested this game because we wanted to see if they could do it. Unfortunately, they weren't able to, but I feel like there's nothing for them to be ashamed of. Getting top 8, you outlasted half the field. This was incredible. This was one of the coolest stories that I've ever seen at a TI.
Indeed.
Oh, I love this team. I hope they get to stick together.
Hold your heads high, Infamous. You've done a great job here at the International, but it's Secret who moves on, and as we move on to the panel.
I think it's very easy to see why Will is using such high praise for the team as they do get knocked out on the side of Infamous after Secret does take the 2-0. Infamous already set a very high bar for their region, a fantastic team, and what a road it is. And to go out against Secret, I mean, this is your leading team heading into the event. It's a pretty decent way for your Cinderella story to end.
I'm just gonna be real blunt here. I'm gonna apologize in advance. Everybody that's talking about how SA doesn't deserve a spot at these tournaments, questioning the talent level in that region, saying why do we have guaranteed SC slots at majors, you can all now shut the fuck up forever. This team was amazing at this event.
Now he says it to chat. This man.
Sorry.
I'm glad you're sitting
done.
next to me right now and not us.
SA haters, you're done.
Where you at?
Where you at? I'm sure they're in the chat right now still. But
He's right, though. He's right. It's been kind of tiresome as well. Every time you'd see a team get knocked out, You have PPD, who wasn't even able to play on the main event stage. He's talking about how it was a free slot all year and how he loved Birmingham because it was the best tournament. It was going to be better than TI. It's bullshit. These guys, they had composure, they had heart. They get beaten by the tournament favorites, sure, but like they got to be proud.
I do want to say it's pretty obvious where that comes from, though, too. I think there are so many moments where you see somebody being, I don't know, I think the word that we use right now in the gaming community is usually hostile. I think one of the times often when you see somebody acting that way, it's pretty clear what their intentions are. I think a lot of the times that we see people so against an entire region, it's usually because they're just worried that their region isn't going to make it, right? Like they're agenda Andes. That's what I like to call them. But we have a winning Andy right now with Casey. Let's hear what Puppy has to say.
I'm sorry, I had a moment. Puppy was trying to bring back a joke that didn't work the first time when I interviewed him during media days.
Right.
Okay, let's talk about you and Infamous. The last time that we've chatted with a couple people on your team, including Apsar yesterday, talking about how scary it is to face a team like Infamous, where you haven't had a chance to watch them as often and study as much as you have the other teams. So what was that like for you as a captain?
I've been watching Infamous games, I think, this whole tournament. And therefore, I admire the way they play and their play style and their ideas. You know, Ricky Mid, you know, with Magnus and stuff. I've kind of saw it. I played with Chris Luck, a pub game, actually, just when he did that. So I was kind of aware of it and stuff. But I do admire their ideas. I do admire how they play, and I do think they're actually a very good team.
And you're known for being an expert drafter, so I want to get your insight, if you don't mind, on the ban of Wraith King. Was that a respect ban based off of a little bit of fear, only respect, or were you just trying to play it safe?
It's like... when things align in a way in draft, it's basically, I can't like give away exactly why I did it, but there's some type of heroes that they ban which I consider that they're making Wraith King's life easier. And since they're doing that, I don't think I need to set myself into their trap. I'm like, okay, fine. If you want to remove so many heroes or whatever, do exactly the way playstyle you want to make Wraith King work, I'll just remove it. And it's like a boost because they've kind of won every game with Wraith King.
Last question. I'd love to get your thoughts on just an outsider's perspective for a moment on Dota. We talked a little bit about the respect that you have from Infamous. Is it a respect in general for watching teams? Like, you've played this game for a really long time. You remember what it was like to get started, and now it's kind of cool that you can take a step back and see how other teams and other players are trying to follow along in your footsteps and those of the other veterans.
It's always nice to see something fresh. Yeah, you know, whether it be the competition we're in, whether it be music or food or whatever it is, it's like I feel like when I watch Infamous play, I feel like it's some fresh stuff, you know, some dank, fresh, you know, good Dota. Therefore, it's really, yeah, it's pleasuring to actually watch.
Yeah,
It really feels good to like see some things like that happen.
Well, congratulations and best of luck tomorrow with Vici.
Thank you.
All right, back to you guys.
Yeah, Puppy, I very much like you am a connoisseur of dank Dota, and we're going to be talking a lot more about the dankest of Dota, but I actually just heard as well that Casey is going to be standing by as well, or no, Sheever, that makes a little bit more sense. Casey cannot be everywhere at once. We have Sheever standing by right now with Chris Lock.
Yes, thank you, Rich. Chris, I kind of want to give this interview a positive turn. You were the person that said before TI, the goal is to be the best South American team any international has ever seen. And you have achieved that. And I feel also often when I'm doing these interviews, I am talking as if it's the end of a year and it's the end of like a career. And for you guys, I feel like this is just a beginning. How are you feeling about this run so far and what is in the future for you?
Para darle un spin más positivo a esto, vos dijiste antes que quería ser el mejor equipo de Sudamérica en un international y ese era su objetivo. Su objetivo no era ser el primero, pero era ser el mejor de Sudamérica y lo han logrado. No solamente eso, sino que para muchos equipos international es como el final de un ciclo. pero para ustedes es un poco como el comienzo. Así que, ¿qué opinan al respecto? ¿Cómo se sienten?
Yo me siento muy bien, creo que cada uno de mis compañeros también se sienten bien de lo que hemos logrado. Como le dije en un momento, yo quería estar en uno de los equipos que hacen historia en el Perú o en Sudamérica y me siento bien por hacer eso, ¿no?
He says that he's great, his teammates are also great, and as you said, he wanted to be one of the best teams in Peru and South America, and having accomplished that, it feels really good.
I'm very glad to hear that because I know you've got the whole continent watching, and I think with your performance over the last couple of days, it's the whole world right now, and everybody is shouting God, and everybody is super happy for you guys to be able to reach it, to make such a big impression. And I want you to address all those people, if you can, and tell them what they have meant for you.
Con la performance que han tenido durante este torneo, no solamente toda la gente en Sudamérica está alentando por ustedes, sino que también todo el mundo, con el GA y con todo eso. Y ahora tenés una oportunidad de hablar con tus fans y decirles algo a ellos. ¿Algo que quieras decir?
Que gracias por apoyarnos, que si no hubiera sido por ellos no estuviéramos acá y que en Sudamérica hay mucha gente que apoya el Dota, pero creo que ahora como hemos llegado a un lugar que ningún equipo lo ha hecho, creo que ha habido mucha más gente. En mi página he recibido muchos mensajes de aliento. Antes recibía como que malos, como diciendo que no vas a poder, no sé, y eso me motivaba más, ¿no? A poder callarles la boca y mira dónde estoy.
He just wants to thank all of his fans and also that the reception has been positive from reaching to this point. He also wants to point out that before fans used to be a little bit more negative and tell him things like, well, you'll never get this far, you'll never get the chance, you guys are not that good, and like, well, here we are, and we proved that South American Dota is a real thing.
Definitely a real thing. Super excited to see what you guys can do next. Thank you for talking to me. We're going to go back to Rich.
I think definitely silenced all of the haters. It was something that we were talking about a little bit earlier on the panel, and also I do want to touch upon the fact that interview, usually after we do see a team get knocked out, there's a very different feeling to it. I think it's palpable, the achievement that was already reached by this team, and also I think a lot of us, I'm assuming a lot of you guys in chat as well, I know us on the desk, it's like we just want to watch these guys play more Dota.
100%. There's really nothing else to say. These guys played like champions at this event. They played like a team that is going to be a factor in future majors, period.
I just hope that this team takes the experience back to South America as a whole. And it's like, oh, it's like the Peruvians versus the Brazilians.
Honestly, looking to the future, like it's not like these guys are near the end of their careers. You take any of their two players, add their ages together, they're still younger than Nahas. There's so much time for these guys to grow. It's a
well played, sir.
It's true.
It's true. It's just true. Like I'm just saying, these guys have the
Basic
potential.
math.
Like Chris Whisper has been a guy to watch going back all the way to the first minor at Dream League. Remember talking to him? They like this kid. He was 16 at the time. And he looked like a superstar in the making. It's just a matter of time. We can only expect this region to do better and better. You look at other games, typically as regions adapt to a game later, it takes extra time. But I mean, I'm sure anyone who's watched Counter-Strike recently knows that Brazil's not a region to be trifled with. I can't imagine that Dota is going to stay, Northern Hemisphere dominant for much longer.
Well, here's the question that I have now, and this is looking very far down the line. I mean, obviously, this is not something that's going to come into effect instantly, but when you look at this team, I think one of the reasons that they were so dangerous is because of the attitude that they were able to have and the road that they actually had at this tournament, coming in as the underdog, being these young guys. Do you think now that they've already posted up results, do you think that stress, that pressure comes on them in the next tournament?
I don't think so.
No.
Did you see his face? Did you see his Chris Luck's face? Like that man had a purpose. He had a goal. You can see the heart like through his jersey.
Well, but
he's not going anywhere.
I want to go a different direction with that. It's also about how much better can these teams be with coaching? How much better can these teams be with analytical and support staffs? Tsunami, my man, talking about bringing the resources back to that region. That infrastructure is there now.
Well, speaking of infrastructure and staffs, I do want to take a slight pivot here because there are so many contributors to Dota 2, and everybody knows GL and Mumu. Every time there's an update, we are always excited to see what they put out. Our cameras met up with them at home to learn more about them.
有时候就是你有些东西你说不出来，然后用故事、用画表达出来。我操，差点丢了。和 GL 相识是 TI1 之后，吸引我们的地方就在于它的画风以及我们对 Dota 1的熟知。这个可能也对 Dota 2版本的平衡。 我们都会做一些分析，然后做一些漫画内容，当然会夸大一点，搞笑一点。如果大型比赛的话，我会把战绩、战队变成一个形象。我画的一般都是就是比赛的流程嘛，比赛里面的各种梗，基本上都画一些。 就之前我有各种风格，包括黑白的线、Q 版各种。潮汐的话，当时就不经意间画了一个形象，然后在国内来说起了个名叫瓜皮，这算一个现在代表我的一个形象作品。一到晚上这样开，我就感觉就是Dota所有角色里面，这个影魔是最有特色的，所以就贼喜欢。然后后来就弄了一个 Q 版的形象。 宾语呢？宾语，宾语就比较复杂了。单身男子的喜好，就是看完我画的图的下面评论，就感觉比较有动力，就比较想，就是给大家带来欢乐。
就觉得这些画的特别厉害，特别有构思吧。
就是因为他们的这么一滴一滴的付出，所以Dota 能有今天，就他们也是有很大的功劳的。
我觉得这种对整个电竞圈或者对Dota圈的话，都是一个非常好的一个事情。我觉得他就是他做的事情，我觉得是非常有意义的。
还是比较感谢这些自媒体对于Dota的，就是一些纯喜好的支持，真的还是有帮助的，我觉得。
还是挺感谢这个游戏，这个不仅是让我们有了一个娱乐的东西，而且收获了友情以及更多的东西。这已经是第9个年头了，到那儿还是这么大，还是说一起凑到一起说，哎，把笔一扔，就说打游戏吗？打。即便可能项目做得慢一点，可能自己的规划会拉长一点。 但是我们不想抛弃掉一个曾经给我们带来快乐，现在也给我们带来快乐，可能未来也会给我们带来快乐的这么一个东西。
我要喷，有什么想要喷的事情？在
我的潮汐玩的好吧？牛逼！
It is always amazing to learn more about some of the contributors in our scene. In the end, Dota 2 is a game of contributors. That's how we got to be here. That is why we're here. And another reason why we're here is two teams about to play on the stage. It is time for Evil Geniuses and Team Liquid to get ready. Liquid, 5 international performances. This is their 6th. And of course, holder of the ages of 2017 with almost the same roster. They have had a rough start, but in true Liquid fashion are making an absolute run through this lower bracket. A force to be reckoned with. And the force that they will reckon with is a team that has also gotten Aegis to their name. Let's welcome in Evil Geniuses. This is Evil Geniuses' 7th international. 1 Aegis, 3 third-place finishes, and they are looking hungry for that Aegis once again, or at least a male NS4 once again. The rest, of course, still wants to get their first one. They're taking the stage to face Team Liquid. We saw them on stage yesterday up against OG. They had a rough time, dropped them to the lower bracket. I hope they have had some time to relax. And I know for a fact, S4 had some time to relax.
Come in, come in.
Oh, hello.
Oh no, I brought the wrong notes. Do you want me to ask you some questions about Vici Gaming or?
Yes, in Chinese.
No! All right, I think I memorized most of them. Since we're talking about stress, how do you honestly deal with the stress of playing Dota?
Well, I think you have to remember that Dota is a Dota is a team game.
Yeah?
So you don't have to be alone when it comes to stress. You have your team.
Okay.
And if you, as a team, calm down for the next game, that's enough for me.
Who on your team is the best at dealing with stress and who is the worst?
Um,
Sorry.
Are they overdoing it?
No, it's fine.
The best at dealing with stress.
Yeah.
I would say probably Artur or Sumail.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're pretty good at dealing with stress, I'd say.
Does your family help center you and calm you, or do they stress you out?
A little bit of both. Usually my parents, they're really nice.
Yeah.
They're always positive. And then my brothers can be harsh at times.
What?
Because, I mean, I'm the youngest brother.
Oh.
So they've always been a bit harsh. I
That
grew
comes
up.
with the territory then.
Yeah, but I know they mean well, you know.
So obviously, a lot of people were talking about some of the personnel and teammate changes last year, and it felt like you kind of escaped getting any heat. Did you feel that too? Did you feel like Fly and
Yeah,
kind of got most of that heat?
I think so. I think a lot of people forget that I was the one that like kind of initiated it. And I think Fly just had a bigger reputation when it came to like his past teammates, like No Tail and stuff. They've been friends for a long time, and I was just the third wheel, you know. But I think Tal got a bit too much attention, so yeah, I would say it's a bit unfair to him.
You're one of few who could potentially be the first to win multiple TIs as an individual player.
Yeah.
What are your chances? Do you still think about that a lot?
I mean, yeah, it always comes to mind.
Are you waving at me?
Yeah.
Is that your arm?
Hello.
I just see a...
A lot of my old teammates from my past team alliance, they kinda retired.
Right.
So I feel like I have to live up to them and actually win one soon.
Oh, like to carry on their
Legacy. Yeah.
Oh, that's so sweet. Who do you think has the best chance of being the first one, if not you?
I would say Liquid
Yeah.
and OG.
So you think Kuro has a chance too at being the first to win?
Yeah. He's a very strong Dota captain, and I think he can do it again if he wants to.
Are you excited for TI to be in Shanghai?
Yeah.
How come?
I think it's going to be fun, especially if there's a lot of Chinese fans
Yeah.
that actually cheer for Western teams also. It's not just Chinese fans cheering for Chinese teams.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah. And I think it's a really good thing that we get to play a TA where one of the biggest fan base is in China.
See, aren't you more relaxed?
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
I have a guy punching me in the back.
It's a metaphor.
I love hearing S4 talk so candidly about all the changes that he's been through, that he has been through with his team. And yeah, his chances on the stage, Liquid's chances on the stage. I'm here together with Dendy Capitalist and Trent. Gentlemen, time to break this matchup down. There is so much to talk about when these two giants meet on the grand stage. Trent, what is the first thing you want to bring up when you look at this matchup?
I guess I'd probably start with how the group stage started and where these two teams were and everyone's kind of ranking at that point. And if you talked about this matchup back then, maybe it wasn't as exciting because you're like, are they even in form right now? What's going on? But of course, TI starts, it gets rolling, those memories come back, that conditioning in the booth is there for these two teams. They've met up once again and they're both ramping up, right? They're in kind of this peak TI form. So I'm happy that we're getting them, and I think everyone is at a level where they're excited for this matchup, whereas maybe a week ago they were just kind of these guys are washed.
And because of that buildup, right, there are advantages to both sides. Liquid has the buildup of having a win going into this series, whereas Evil Geniuses, they have the prep. That's their advantage that they hold, because we just saw actually on the Chinese stream, Kuro was poring over his notes, just that last-minute prep of reading some of the drafts that was coming out from Evil Geniuses, and I know that's a tough position. I've heard a lot of players talk about it, and having to go into a day knowing you're playing two different series and just saying okay, we're gonna have to actually prepare for multiple opponents. How to be able to break that down. Dania, I'm sure you have some experience in that regard and just being able to talk about preparing for opponents like that.
I think it's super hard. You waste so much energy, you waste so much stamina on the first series when you need to relax and regain the energy and be ready to prepare for another game. It's super hard. Even if you try to prepare for both of the opponents before, you spend some time, obviously we did so, it's super hard to adapt and be ready for this series.
In previous TI, these two teams also met in the lower bracket. They met one round later, but it was Evil Geniuses that knocked out Team Liquid. And with all the results that we have seen repeating itself, I don't know, do you get worried when you're EG, or sorry, when you're Liquid in this case?
I mean, I certainly would be. The fact that we have so many repeat matchups, including that OG versus LGD. OG are peaking just at the right time. Again this year, it just seems like everything is deja vu. And Liquid, I'm sure, thinking about the fact and what's going to be different this year, is Weeha going to be the difference maker for Liquid this time in the matchup against Evil Geniuses?
I mean, he's definitely different. There's no doubt about that, right? He does not play a whole lot like Matu, doesn't wear the shorts. So those aren't there either, but it's a whole different style coming out from them when it's Weeha playing on the squad. And the man you see right there too, Mind Control, is someone who I feel like, besides, obviously Matu's one who got kicked, but in a lot of the community discussions and everything, I feel like people kind of targeted MC. But I do think that comes back to this idea of the off lane still a very hard role to really pop off in right now. But MC, he said he's feeling it. He got on this main stage. It came back. You can see right there. He's enthused. I mean, he's jumping
ready.
up and down in his chair. He can't believe it. He's saying so much to his team and inspiring them. Yeah, zoom in on that.
He's
face.
super focused. that is a focus face if I've ever seen.
Oh, okay. We'll go with focus. I like that. Thank you, Mike.
I have my focus face is really sad. I would imagine that is something like that.
In a wake, I think. Man, Denny's right. The stamina is
Ice, passed out in the drafting, except MC really was just about to. No, I think that talks about like the energy that goes into this series and like having to reserve a lot of that. But since we had Dendy on the panel, I actually wanted to ask, I think what makes a lot of this an interesting matchup and what makes EG a really interesting team is you have a lot of players in these two teams that were once considered the best player in the world, right? Just think about it. You had S4, you had Arteezy at some point in time, Sumail on the other side, Liquid. A lot of people held MC as just being this amazing playmaker. Dendy you were also considered like one of the best players in the world. What do you feel about that? Like, how is that pressure, right? And being on you and everybody looking to you as being the best and everybody studying you in that regard.
I think it's fun. You just enjoy yourself. You enjoy the game. You get into the game and you destroy. And when you destroy, you feel great. You feel amazing. But in this game, you have insanely skilled players. So when it's come down, for example, for Sumail, this guy is just out of his mind. He's doing so much job for this team, not taking like out from anyone else. They all doing the job, but he's doing so much job. It's going to be very hard matchup on mid lane for Viha. Viha also is a very skilled player, and it's going to be really tough. I would really pay attention to that lane a lot. It's very interesting for me. And both of them, like, super skilled. So, I love watching it. Raw skill. And
you're going to be focused on that mid lane.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to be fully focused on that.
And it's two mid laners who don't choke on the main stage, right?
Yeah,
it's like Sumail is well known for stepping up at all times, and Weehaw always seems to have the best performances at TI. He was a large part of the reason Digital Chaos made it such a long run.
Yeah, it's going to be an amazing game. These players also have a lot of history with each other. We're going to talk all about that maybe after the game. But let's find out what's going to happen in the first game of the series and kick off Evil Geniuses versus Liquid.
Evil Geniuses versus Team Liquid. Game 1.
Hey guys, welcome to the first match of this amazing series. We have some great Dota coming, lots of very high-skilled players, and lots of money on the line. So, can you guys go through some top heroes or drafts you're expecting to see from either teams?
So some top heroes that both teams share are Leshrac and ET. So both heroes really prioritize that hero a lot. And on side of EG, Enchantress is heavily focus that hero. Meanwhile, Liquid they do play Enchantress, but they don't like first pick it. So it's interesting to see that aspect. And for Liquid, they play a lot of ST, but EG don't like prioritize that hero. So, yeah.
I'm wondering if we're going to see some changes, right? As we saw the secret drafts coming out, and we're seeing a lot of teams now just like opening up with Tiny because of what OG's been able to demonstrate with the hero and how dominant it's been because of how people are just abusing Tree Volley and how strong it really is. I'm wondering if maybe we see some priority shift. We see the Void, that Tiny, start being picked up first too by Secret, just prioritizing just having these two. Just it seems like things are going to start changing as we get toward the later stages of TI.
And we know like these both mid players, they love Tiny. Weehaw, Tiny, and Sumail Tiny. He went on like what, 30 kills last TI?
Yep. Yeah. It was like 30. It was more than he like broke the records. So.
I think something like that. It was a crazy game. It does get banned out in the first phase though. I also banned another hero that Liquid's been using. Maybe the most in the last couple series. OG obviously has been also getting first phase banned against it, but Liquid, the only team running is the support right now, which is weird to say, but that's the reality.
I wonder if Chen also comes back in, right? Because EG, they don't really play Chen, but Liquid does, right? So I think that's another one that I'm also looking at that could sneak in, that I know Kuroki really likes to play around when they have like that Tusk plus the Chen and they can just make a lot of aggressive moves. So I do think there's a lot of variety we could see coming out in these two drafts.
And now you bring up the fact that Liquid plays Chen, but EG doesn't. It feels like EG's whole ban stage, other than the Tiny, of course, it feels like there's more bans that they have to use that their opponents can just ignore and let through. ET, also very, very strong, but easy to take that hero.
Yeah. Yep. The decision now, right? There's the Chen. I kind of had a feeling that they would take it out because you don't want to get like just, I wouldn't call it cheese anymore at this point, right? But it's just this super dominant hero that can somehow just take over games. And if you're not prepared for it, you could just straight up lose. And I had Chen as one of my most banned heroes actually because I thought this was just going to take over from a lot of teams because it can just change the way the Dota is played entirely.
So right now, unless they have like a complete new strategy from both teams, I think both teams are looking at SD and Leshrac.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, SD Lash probably look the Maranas maybe slipping in, and yeah, Liquid. I think I think that's the better approach than even leaving it in. Sumail, I think, plays the best Lesh. I think Sumail and maybe are the best Leshes in the world for me. So I think just taking him a little bit out of a comfort zone can
be a
nice
especially
position.
Snare with that movement speed build, I think he created. He's a really beast on that hero.
Yeah, it feels like Lesh is too dominant of a hero to let through, and he kind of works in so many different situations, whereas SD is more, I shouldn't say situational, because he is very good consistently, but he definitely counters some lineups more than others, so it makes sense to ban the Lesh.
Lesh is just really flexible. Like, you can run him in like every role, while SD he's a support. He's always going to be a 4 or 5.
So that's their first pick. Very good laning hero, very strong defensive abilities, which counters some of the strong teamfight things like Faceless Void that we've been seeing heavily.
Yeah, for the past few games, EG hasn't prioritized this hero, but I think it's like a deny pick because Liquid loves this hero.
Totally agree.
I mean, it's time for EG to get with the picture, right? It's clearly one of the best supports. Might as well grab it. Does this prevent Liquid from grabbing something like Faceless Void?
I'm thinking they could still do something like a Gyro +1 or the Void +1. Just because of the last series, right? We're seeing just the way TI ends up happening, these shifts of drafts and priorities.
Because you don't want to be left behind by the meta, right? Like if you if you don't stay up to date with what the best heroes are and abuse them in the strongest ways, boom, you're out of TI. So maybe more pressure to grab them.
They could also look at the Mirana, or they could look maybe to give the Mirana and go for a combo breaker themselves and maybe get a Tide Hunter early on, because I've seen a lot of teams doing that when the SD is left in the pool. Even though SD's kind of good versus it with the Soul Catcher chunking him down, it does prevent you from doing that. They will take that Mirana away.
It's a classic dual lane combo, Mirana over.
Yep.
It's pretty effective as off-lane hero, also functions as a support if needed, and helps to amplify your carry later on as well.
Yeah, very strong dual lane. Lots of laning power, lots of kill power throughout the game, but I'm kind of worried because SD is a very good combo breaker, so he might be able to save that single target, whatever the Liquid go on.
Yeah, I feel like it's rare to see Shadow Demon on the opposite side of the Mirana, because it does seem like the obvious counter, but I mean, if Liquid doesn't take the Mirana, EG takes it, and then they'll turn around and do an easy setup. So in some ways, Liquid kind of forced to grab the Mirana. Not that it's bad.
Yeah, so Liquid has to follow the picks up by like picking heroes that can go on multiple targets at once, because SD is just gonna save the one target that Liquid is gonna go on.
I actually really like this pick. I was going to suggest that if they don't actually take the Kunkka here, they're going to have to ban it in the 4th and 5th. So this, I feel like, is not only really good that works with the Shadow Demon, but it also takes it away from Liquid being able to set up. As we've seen, like the ODs and the Kunkkas, I think every time that Mirana is opened up, we see OD and Kunkka banned out because it's just so easy to set up those and just ruin the opposing mid laner's game. So the Kunkka does taken out. I imagine they're still going to ban the OD.
And TA maybe.
And the TA, yeah.
Does Kunkka picking this early leave you at a disadvantage in any way? Because normally we don't really see it that often in first phase, at least not since a group stage.
I think it's a hero that can still be flexible, because I do think that this hero can be played in an offlane role, can be played not great in a support role, but there's possibilities.
When you're first pick, you kind of want to pick your mid hero early too, because you have the second ban phase to protect that mid ban, and you're not going to last pick your mid anyways. It's going to get countered, so you just want to pick it early. Some hero that can like go even at the very least, which I think Kunkka can do. And you want to like use the second pick phase to counter the side lanes.
I like that.
Why is this Fen ban good there?
Oh, I meant Febi's point.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Febi. Good
yes,
point.
Yes.
There's the TA ban you guys said.
This is Fen.
It's one of like RTZ's 3 most played carry heroes. RTZ loves Naga, Sven, Lifestealer. There was one more I forgot. Yeah.
Whenever they ban these Svens and these cleaving heroes, it always is going to be like setting up in the back of your mind. It's like, uh-oh, Weeha, Meepo, Weeha, something like one of these heroes that can kind of cheese, we'll say cheese, but these heroes that can just run rampant if you don't have some type of hero counter in the game.
What about something like Wraith King? Wraith King didn't get banned here, was a big ban last game.
I love that hero, but I don't see like I haven't seen EG play it. I mean, it's not a hard hero, I guess, but
they ban out the Weeha Timbersaw. So they're trying to secure that Kunkka to have a good lane. That's an interesting one. Does that mean they want something like the Terrorblade for RTZ?
They can. There's a lot of single target from Liquid side, so TV does look good, especially with paired with the SD.
That's what I'm thinking as well, because otherwise, like the Timber Cell ban is a little bit strange to me. So I am thinking that they're looking for one for that hero, at least for RTZ.
Feels like for once, when we get to second phase of bans, they don't have all of these like hard counters. So they're picking hard counters to the heroes they're planning to pick, rather than covering their existing heroes for once. Kinda cool.
absolutely.
The scary side of picking more single target heroes for Liquid is EG. They don't play it a lot, but I've seen occasional brood coming out of Smears. You have to be aware of that too, because I know S4 can play Kunkka.
That is also, yeah, that's very, very true. We saw teams doing that a lot in the group stages, right? They would open up with the Kunkka, and then it's like, oh god, the fear of the brood.
Yeah,
it could come.
Ogre Mirana is very strong, but you gotta remember, there's not a lot of team fight, so it's a single target. So.
Yeah.
Alchemist stand. Huh. Another cool thing about the Kunkka in the first phase, very good against Mirana as well.
Yes.
Very easy to catch her. Guarantee kills. Tide is the pick for Liquid though.
Combo breaker versus Shadow Demon. I think we've seen a lot of teams doing that, like we were mentioning earlier on. And in the lore, right, for Slacks versus the just kidding.
That's like lore 101. That's like way too simple for him.
Yeah,
He
I
doesn't
know,
care
that's
about that
true.
stuff. He needs the deep stuff that no one knows.
That's actually a very good point.
EG might be thinking of picking illusion heroes such as Naga, TV, just to like split them up, because Liquid's split push game is not that great, and catch too. Like, sure you have Ogre, Mirana, but there's a ST disruption, and it's gonna be very hard to catch because you can't push out waves properly against illusions.
With the Tide pick as well, probably means Ogre as a support, most likely. I don't think the Tide support is super effective myself. Is there anything they can exploit there against that? I mean, obviously Ogre's very tanky, but...
No, I mean, Ogre support's super solid. I think the Tidehunter is, I mean, also a incredibly good hero as we've seen throughout this, and I think like Febby was saying, they have a lot of single target on Liquid. I think the Tidehunter was just like covering their bases to have that team fight. So that looks like it's...
Crit
Lina. It's probably crit Lina.
Yeah.
You think so?
I think that's also still relatively flexible, but I think that's more than likely what we will be seeing.
Well, what tells you that? I mean, Sumail played Lina yesterday, for example.
I know he really likes the hero, and it's just strong like dual laner. If you are like laned with anybody, you're just able to put a lot of pressure. He's just a big fan of it, and it can match up like the Ogre, very strong laner. Lina can sit back very far away, and you can actually get that harassment onto him.
Yep, that's another hero to set up stunts with, either X or Disruption.
Yeah.
Right now, we don't see a safe lane carry hero from Liquid, so I think EG wanted to save the S4's hero, the position 3 heroes, because he wants to counter the whatever they pick next, because it's gonna most likely gonna be a carry. So I think that's why they picked the S4 crit Lina. It's like kind of an all-rounder, fits into like most of the situations, can lane well with a lot of the off lanes.
More team fight coming in for Liquid, picking up that Void now.
I feel like Void's been the trending carry hero of the main stage so far. It's not in every game, but it is in a lot of the games, it feels like.
So Omni is pretty good here. What else is good? Maybe Underlord?
Underlord?
What's a S4 hero?
What about Pugna?
I think they need a frontline tanky hero who can get team fight items, especially with Lina and SD. So Omni, Pitlord.
Interesting how they also, I think that could also be like, not 100%, but could be a taking pick from EG, right? Taking the Void. I know I'm looking more so along like the Arteezy heroes, but we've seen a lot of teams when they pick Tidehunter, the other team picks either Enigma or Void to counter him, because you can't be able to dispel those. So maybe a slight amount there, even though I don't know if EG was even going to be going for that hero.
I mean, Liquid's lineup looks really scary now, I must say. Everyone's super tanky. They've got Chronosphere into arrows. They've got lots of different ways to stun into arrows.
I like it because there's a lot of like saves and team fights from EG. Liquid, yes, they do have team fight too, but there's no save. So if they can get on top of Void somehow, then it's gonna be very hard to save it.
They're gonna need like the counter initiation from the Tidehunter for the most part, if that is the case. Okay, so they're actually gonna go for the Life Stealer here early on.
It's protected against the Mirana arrow. That's one thing.
Yeah, you have your Rage always to be able to protect yourself.
It's not always the safest against getting Chronosphered, but with SD behind him, it should be alright.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. Picking that Life Stealer into the Void.
I mean, if anybody knows a good Life Stealer game, it should be Arteezy, right? So
it's very true.
Yeah. I'm just a support player. I think he knows like what he's doing on that hero. He's been playing it throughout the whole year, maybe 2, so.
Maybe that can allow to open up to save S4's hero as well. Maybe the Kunkka still, we could see still some swaps coming out where they want to lane the hero too, so maybe, but.
Do you think it's worth doing something like Night Stalker like we saw earlier today? Against like, I feel like Liquid pretty vulnerable to AoE silences. I mean, I guess they'll get BKBs at some point, and then it won't be as effective, but...
I guess that is another option versus Tidehunter that maybe people haven't explored too much, right? That crippling fear always being applied to him, but I'm not sure if I'd see that style for EG.
So Liquid bans out S4's hero, Omni Knight?
Yeah, I think the Omni was a great suggestion.
So now they got to go for some worse choice, unless we're forgetting something. I'm sure we're not, though.
I think EG Liquid needs some damage. Weeha hero or damage hero in the chrono, because right now they don't have a lot of damage in the chrono. They kind of lack damage, basically. Yeah. And it's going to be coming out from Weeha.
It's a throwback Weeha here. I mean, Invoker comes to mind, but...
Yeah, Invoker sounds good, Tinker sounds good. These like flashy mid-type heroes that inputs a lot of damage.
Just worried after I saw those like matchups yesterday versus the Invokers. But it could still be a possibility.
Only 10 seconds left here for the ban on EG.
Yeah, they're running low.
I'd be very excited to see some Weeha Invoker action.
Right? Doesn't that sound hype?
That sounds pretty hype.
The game goes late game. They've got Ravage, they've got Chrono, they've got all that kind of stuff to set up for
so
it.
They do ban the OD.
I think that would have been the better one. And they will go for that tanky frontline hero for S4. That Centaur. Should be able to have a good lane as well, too. He's just versus like a Void and an Ogre. He's going to get back up from Lina. So now they have a lot of stun, a lot of chain ways to lock down heroes. In particular, that Void, like you were mentioning, there's no save really for him. Liquid has counter initiation, but this could be lots of combo stuns to kill him.
Liquid really lacks damage right now, I think.
Yeah.
The Kunkka's boot rom, the Centaur's axe, if it gets to that stage, SD can save. There's not a lot of damage in the chrono.
What else is sticking out for Weeha? I mean, I'm still thinking like he might just play like a Wind Ranger or something, but I'm thinking Invoker, because they need damage. They need things to throw into that Chronosphere as well. And it's going to be the Tinker.
Oh,
good call, Fevy.
Thank you.
Yeah, can't pick a Wind Ranger against SD, that's for sure. Interesting on the Tinker, though.
It's won 100% of the 100% games, I think, so far.
How many times has it been picked?
I think 3 or 4.
Okay.
Actually.
Yeah, it hasn't. Yeah, it's been picked quite some time, but not a lot.
Well, some interesting picks so far, but right before we get into the match, we're going to hear the last word with Nahas.
Coming into this series, so important that we talk about Sumail. He's having one of the best performances of his young career in this tournament. You look at averages at the 12-minute mark. He is in the top 10 in the tournament in average kills, deaths, last hits, and net worth at that crucial 12-minute mark, the end of the laning phase. There's only one other player in the tournament in the top 10 in even 2 of these 4 categories, and the early game going to be pivotal in this matchup. When you look at the hero picks, EG have built their draft around this Kunkka. Kunkka is 10-3 in games that end before the 35-minute mark, only 13-16 in games that go past that mark, whereas Tide on the side of EG, he is on the side of Liquid rather, he's 6-8 in sub 35-minute games. He is going to be 16-6 in games that go past that. Guys, we got the premier matchup in Western Dota 2 on tap for you. Who better to bring it to you than the OG casting duo? Here are Toby One and Cinderin.
With the original G, we can fill in what that means later on. Myself and Sin, yeah, let's get it on. We've got, what a matchup. I get to have a Tinker as well. I'm very happy about that one. Nahas
like
was. I actually really enjoy Tinker. I love this like global maneuver and just combination. You're surprised?
No, unsurprising.
Unsurprising.
Very unsurprising.
Sorry, he's a mech, right? He's a goblin mech.
It falls into the category of heroes you would like. So not too surprising. Yeah. These strategies, it's very clear what the development toward the later stages of this tournament has been, right? We're getting a lot of team fight out of teams. We're getting plenty of stun, we're getting scalable heroes, and we're getting a tanky frontliner. Both teams with a tanky frontline that also has team fight in the Tide and the Centaur. Super late game scaling heroes such as Lifestealer and Tinker. And even the Kunkka also scales pretty well, but like Nahas pointed out, not as well as some other heroes. So yeah, I think it's fair to say that there's a lot of similarities in the approach to the game from these teams, but there are some pretty clear differences in the longevity of the picks, if you could call it that, in the game, like how long they stay relevant for. I think this is a pretty incredible Tinker game if Weeha gets off to a good start. They have very limited catch. The only real way they have of finding Tinker is a Tinker ward into X Mark, or maybe a Lens Lina stun or a Centaur dagger, but there's none of those like classic flat out give vision heroes like Zeus or Spectre
But you have other ways around that we can itemize, right? Like you can look to the yields, look towards the blink, and just get the right timing to avoid the pullback. How does the lane actually work? Because like Nahaz was focusing very heavily on Sumail being one of the greatest players. He definitely has been performing very well throughout this TI. How does the matchup actually work between Kunkka as well as Tinker? Getting Wii off to a good start or getting Sumail off to a good start?
Oh, arrow bottom. Nice side step from Crit. That was hot, yeah. I don't have too much experience with this matchup, actually. I feel like it should be relatively even, maybe slightly Tinker favored. And that's all that Tinker wants. I mean, of course, it's great if you can stomp your lane, right? But most mid heroes in the current meta don't really get destroyed anymore. We don't see these extremely one-sided mid matchups, at least we haven't lately. But what Tinker wants is he wants to get levels, he wants to get a decent amount of farm, and then he's going to go in semi-jungle anyway with March of the Machines. So we'll see who gets to stack for him.
I don't know if people can actually pick that up with the microphone, but this crowd actually started to go, oh, because Sumail got the block and kept the creep wave on the slight high ground for the very beginning. They're watching this mid very, very closely too. Bottom lane, a lot of trouble for S4, trying to retreat. Kuro, Miracle, and GH all together under the tower. S4 cannot tank through this. Miracle will spill the first blood, getting Liquid off to a good start.
And in the meantime, Crit was pulling the wave, so S4 probably could have maybe avoided this death, playing a little bit safer. But he will rejoin the lane. Top lane 1-on-2 for Tidehunter against the Shadow Demon as well as Lifestealer. Curious to see if Mind Control chooses to skill up Kraken Shell as a solution for this harassment from the Shadow Demon. For now, he's holding his skill point, and now he will be getting help. So Mirana showing up from GH. Wants to arrow the Arteezy. I don't know if he was going for that, if he wanted the big creep. I think he wanted the big creep.
He was trained by Angelina Jolie just around the corner of the creep to hit Arteezy.
But it doesn't hurt him too much. He has the Stout Shield. Tanking the creeps is not too bad.
Miracle's cupping so much damage on bottom lane. He may have to already burn this Salve, be switching it in. S4 and Crit. Nice double stun combination. Now that the Mirana has left the lane, maybe EG feel a little bit more safer.
And this is the kind of lane you want against Void, right? The thing, you want one of two things, actually. They might stun combo him again. Centaur's not level 2 yet, never mind. So you want one of two things against Void. Either you want consistent harassment over time so that he can't time walk it. Like a great example that's easy to understand is like Venomancer, right? Like you just keep hitting the guy over time, he can't really time walk it because it's non-stop damage. The other one is having serious burst where you, if you have him down to 2/3, if you can kill him off in one go before he gets the time walk off. That's what Centaur Lina can do. They have so much damage between the two of them when they have retaliate stacks. And Crit's probably going to force a time walk here. Every stun he connects in a couple of attacks is like 150, 200 damage, and Miracle will want to time walk that, and that means he's exposed for a bit. Or Kuro is. This could be a kill.
And with the hoof stomp, the damage is high. Kuro, 60 HP, had a couple of sick charges. Gets him back underneath the tier 1 tower, and Miracle got to dodge that Light Strike array, but as you said, that harass damage chip down is working. Miracle very low on life, and Crit wants to go for more, looking for a second Light Strike array, consuming the Mango. Thankfully, Crit is not taking any damage from the tower. It's just the creep wave that's allowing him to do that dive.
He is playing really aggressively. This is exactly how you play this lane as Lina. It's a hero I've been playing a lot myself lately. I love it as a position 4, and this is exactly what makes the hero so good. There are very few heroes in this game that feel like they can out-harass Ogre from the 4 position, but Lina can do it when she hits level 2. You keep throwing Light Strike arrays, it's a low cooldown, 7 seconds on all levels, and then you can just keep attacking with the Fiery Soul. And even the fat Ogre has to yield.
And with Ogre yielding, it means that Faceless Void is actually getting very little CS. He's 8 for 2. Compare that to the Lifestealer. In the safe lane, Arteezy got 20 for 2. And then the mid lane, Sumail, CS-wise, well ahead. 22 for 5 versus 12 for 2. And now he's even looking for the stack. Sumail's going to steal it. He takes so much of this. Weehaw put 2 points up in the march. She said he wants to move back into the jungle and farm up, but Sumail's watching it. He knows.
Okay, I can't tell you if this is the expected outcome, but let's remember Liquid had last pick. So they specifically picked this Tinker into Kunkka. If he gets doubled up on CS, he's either getting flat out outplayed or they pick him a really bad matchup.
And it's not just in the CS too, like you think, okay, it's a couple of neutrals that's amplifying the score up a little bit more, and it sort of is, but it's still about 600 net worth, the difference between them. Mind Control trying to outrun the top, he'll be fine, he's a tank, he's got 8 stick charges thanks to all the Shadow Poison that Fly's been throwing out. But this still looks Like, overall, the gold advantage is there for EG. We're coming up to around the 5-minute mark, where the runes will start to spawn up and we'll start to see the priorities from these teams. But at the moment, EG still hold the top 2 net worths.
Yep.
The only real sacrifice is Fly.
What runes can you fight for, though? The Shadow Demon is going to probably skill Disruption against Mind Control top to get both runes and bottom runes. Maybe you can get one, but I don't think they'll get both of them.
Mind Control's even taking the creep wave with him.
All right, never mind.
Maybe a little bit more difficult. Bounty will take the first one. Mind Control's in a little bit too deep with the open wounds, trying to outrun with Fly and Arteezy. Damn, he's tanky, and they don't do a lot of damage until the poison stacks up. A quick disruption. Arteezy still wants the kill. Samel's moving over. A torrent will send Mind Control up. He still grabs the bounty rune, but he'll lose his life for it.
I think he's pretty happy with that, actually, on Tide. He's only level 4. He gets the rune. Shadow Demon uses all of his resources. And he didn't really lose too many creeps top. Arteezy was also leaving to join for the kill, so it's a pretty even trade overall.
So GH and Kuro want to have a crack at crit, but the Dire Observer Ward from EG just sees way too much. So they buff up Miracle with the Bloodlust crit, playing the trees perfectly. That's what the Dire Observer Ward doesn't see, however. It only sees the trees to the side.
Miracle needs to be careful here. He's actually in range of dying now. He's
super dead. Great Trance positioning! So good! It's like Miracle was just trying to beat down S4 to open up the opportunity for Kuro and GH, and how? He just dies straight out.
He basically just fed S4 a lot of retaliate stacks and didn't account for the potential Lina in the trees. Very nicely played there by Crit to hide around there. Miracle was trying to get as much out of that as possible, but was not seeing that Lina coming. And now Lina might even be getting more. There's a connection down from Shadow Demon. This is a dead Ogre.
And catch him out right on top of the Shrine to work with Fly. And, well, Shrine is out. Arrow flies forward. A quick movement forward from Crit. Dodges it from GH. He'll jump in for the Starfall. And there is a lot of life on Ogre. Crit's now very low. GH able to work with him at the same time. You're able to find your own kill. Tinker underneath the tower, duking out Weeha. He's moving left and right around the tower. Samael, he just wants one more hit. He can't reach. In fact, now it's Mirana TPing in. No mana for an arrow. He's trying to consume up with the clarity to get closer. Kuro's arrived as well, but Samael up the hill. And Crit will arrive just to back them off.
And there's a regen bottom. How nice.
Even better for Samael.
He's going to be loving that. Not sure he knew that Rune was here when he started going for this play, but I think he did. I think they saw it on the way with Shadow Demon. So, a lot of pressure into Tinker, but he doesn't die. He comes back into the mid lane, and he's going to start farming and pushing out again. But now he's 1,000 gold behind too. This is not how... I want to say with pretty high confidence that this is not how this lane should go. It should be better for Tinker. Maybe I'm wrong about him drawing, but losing by 1k at 7 minutes without a kill?
It feels like, oh man, bottom lane, Samael actually at the turn timing. Miracle can't jump away, and Samael 4 points up in Tiebring is more than enough to crit through Miracle. But I'm kind of with you on that point where it's like, yeah, you feel like it should have gone better, but it feels like there should have also been someone to work with Weeha to actually gank it up. But these supports from Team Liquid, it's like there's been no presence, just a straight one-on-one duel so far, and when that happens, Samael always seems to come out on top.
Yeah, they committed a lot of their time from their supports to protecting Miracle in this bottom lane because it is a dangerous lane for playing against the Centaur Lina. And that obviously means that there's nobody able to put on the pressure in mid.
Samael battling on bottom. S4, he'll tank the arrow with the Starfall. The boat's already coming in, so S4 doesn't really care. He can regen. He's got a lot of armor. Good leap away from GH, but does not have a second one, however. They'll banish him up. Fly has arrived in the bottom lane. And Samael will be the one to get the kill on GH. 4 heroes from Evil Geniuses find their way on the bottom lane because they're fine with Arteezy being on top because no one can really contest the Lifestealer. No one does enough physical damage to bring him down.
It's a very easy lane. You can just farm up here. Tide is going to cut waves. Lifestealer is going to free farm. Every time the hard camp spawns, Arteezy will want to go into that one and farm that as well. You can use it fast for it if he wants to be extra efficient. But actually somebody wants to get involved with killing the Tide.
Can't TP out when you got a Conquer there. X marks the spot, already out. Crit. He's holding the Light Strike Array until Mind Control comes back, and that's what happens with the Torrent. Into the Light Strike Array, Mind Control's brought down. EG are not wanting to give any kind of safe space to Team Liquid at all. Every lane cannot go the way you think it can. There's no time to breathe.
And that's definitely a weakness Liquid's lineup has right now in the state of the game, right? Their lineup it's greedy. It's a Tinker mid, it's a Void safe lane, and it's a Tide off lane. 2 heroes with big level 6 cooldowns that they kind of don't want to use in just single small kills. And then this Tinker who needs a lot of time and space, especially after losing the lane. So it makes makes the map nice to play for EG for now. The timing Liquid is looking for is much later than this, so as long as they can stay afloat, defend their towers, and get a couple of bounty runes every 5 minutes, things are not looking too bad for them, but you gotta be careful to not give away too much.
Smel's gonna battle for the 10-minute rune. Tide, nothing to do there, but yeah, straight 2-2 trade-off. They're seeing a very large stack inside the Dire jungle. Just trying to steal some of S4's farm. It is Ancients. That's not what Liquid can really take care of.
Yeah, Tinker can't steal that. The only hero that can steal the Ancients is Tide, but it takes really long, and he has no way of really getting over there right now. So that stack is pretty safe. Kunkka will be farming it up later for sure. Working on a first item Halberd, Sumail in this game. Thought maybe he'd go the Radiance build. He's going Halberd to minimize Void's impact. Weehao's in trouble.
X marked up. Even under the March of the Machines, EG won't care. They'll send in the boat. Kuro and GH will arrive. Weehaw, the Poison and the Slave, able to pick off him. Underneath the tower, mind control, huge ravage. Connects over on 4, a stampede. EG's get out, jump freak up in the corner. Miracle, he's arrived. Defensive disruption from Fly. It'll buy a little bit of time for Sumail, but not enough. The Starfall from GH once again there. The support's fighting the kills. A quick anchor smash, no gush. Now it's only leveled up. Fly is slowing down. Time walks off cooldown. 3 seconds time. The arrow looking to fly forward as well, but it's all Fly jumping in, able to get the hit from Miracle. No way to be protected underneath that tier 2 tower as Team Liquid will now actually look to take that tier 1 tower in mid. Weehaw will have to do defense work against S4, who's been pressuring that bottom tower. A Centaur not joining the fight. What a surprise.
Liquid brought their whole family mid and used all of their ultis, so now they need to get the hell out of here. They have nothing left to fight with. They got a big chunk out of the mid tower though, even S4 TPing over to try and defend, but the tower's now in deny range. You would imagine they might just deny it up right now. No, they're currently leaving it. Maybe as bait, maybe they didn't realize. And yeah, Weehaw managed to defend bottom. So very good movement from Liquid here with bringing all these heroes in. Now they have downtime for a minute, which I think EG is going to use to at least get the bottom tower, maybe get some good damage on the mid, invade the jungle, try to get aggressive wards out so they can punish the Tinker while he's farming. But for now, it's all safe for Liquid.
Weehao's farm's going to become a little bit easier for them. Oh, nice Torrent, X-Mark, Light Strike Array, and no follow-up. Still underneath the tier 1 tower. But the BTs are completed for Tinker, 12 minutes into the game. Doesn't have a Soul Ring, at least has the bottle to work with. So it's not the most efficient Tinker just yet, but at least it's a global Tinker.
He'll have the Soul Ring really soon. Sitting on level 11. It's the same level as Sumail. After losing the lane, he has caught up from that fight in mid where Sumail ended up dying.
And the only thing difference is the net worth. If he had a whole bunch of stacks, then this would be chased up a lot faster, but Sumail's almost playing like Weeha's playing an Alchemist. Always invading the jungle, making sure there's no stacks available, and they're checking both the southern as well as the northern Radiant jungles.
He's going to be farming up some nice stacks here too now. All of the stuff that EG prepared over here is just ready for Sumail to take. He's going to start cleaving the Ancients. Maybe he'll stack this camp. I think he mistimed it a little bit. That's all right. And I don't know about this Halberd build. I'm not sure if it's the right approach to this game. It's good against Void early on, with the disarm inside the Chronosphere and the evasion. Obviously, a lot of stats for Kunkka. Getting strength is really nice. But you're taking this over a Radiance build, right? So I guess they want Arteezy to get Radiance for sure, and Kunkka feels like this is the second best item build he can go in this game. Could have thought about maybe taking an armlet approach that would build into the classic Kunkka build with armlet crit. The Halberd is also stable.
See how effective it can be. We'll watch the fight closely. And we'll see where he also wants to go next. S4 is just doing his work to finish up. Well, he's got Bracer and Blink queued up, but the money is so close he may actually get that Blink dagger by 15 minutes. May need a little of extra cover fire on the bottom lane as Weehao's pushing it back with the March of the Machines.
And it's really going to be the name of the game, this Tinker, right? Like you wanna place wards that can find Tinker. Killing this hero is really impactful in the game because he's such a nuisance all the time pushing out your lanes. So you have to kind of mind game him, make him feel safe in an area that he's not safe in, have some high ground wards that catch him off guard, and then your reward for killing him will be getting a tower. Because something that Liquid don't have too much of just yet is damage. Their lineup doesn't hit that hard.
That's meant to come from the Void, right? Like he's your primary damage dealer.
Eventually he will do a lot of damage, right? But Void is one of those carries that he has Bloodlust, it definitely helps, but he doesn't deal these ridiculous amounts of damage until he gets multiple items.
It's not like he has the combination we saw earlier today, like this Faceless Void and Tree. Like the never-ending volley into Chronosphere gave all the damage they required.
Yep. Tinker can kind of work that way against non-BKB'd heroes, but again, he needs items. And that's okay for Liquid so far. Like the game plan is progressing, maybe slightly worse than they had planned, but there's definitely still in an okay position. I think both teams, if they saw the state of the game right now, they would feel like it's relatively even. Because EG are ahead on gold for sure, but
it's 49 to 51%.
Oh, that is really even.
Yeah.
Actually.
You're getting the right feeling, Sind. It looks like Team Liquid want to try and add some pressure up on top. We've had mind control with a couple of great Ravages already, especially that one in mid lane.
Now Sumail's building in farmlet.
Okay.
So he wanted the Halberd first, just for the immediate value against the Void. Now he's going for the damage.
So
he obviously had the
he gets
alternative.
Armlet as well as Halberd because you're getting the Radiance over on the Lifestealer
Yeah,
after
that was the exact thing, right? I was thinking maybe they could do the other way around. But I guess they want to make Arteezy just as much of a carry as possible. They could have...
Infest him up. Hoof stomp forward. Arteezy, who actually is moving up towards the top lane as Mind Control and S4 battling. The rest of EG is there as Arteezy, who's not there. He's the one inside the jungle, but they'll still catch out Mind Control. He'll end up just tanking it for the team. TP is not available. It got cancelled. Try and battle it out in the tree line. But eventually dropping down. Because it was Sumail who got the kill as well. I mean, Kunkka.
Did you hear the way Tide yelled it? That's how you pronounce it. You're welcome.
Kunkka.
Kunkka.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's also Visage, right?
A little bit of trivia, of course. Kunkka is a hero named after one of the biggest artists of Dota in the old Dota in Warcraft 3. One of the original artists that did a lot of the loading screens. Kunkka has also made art and item sets designs in Dota 2. Actually, that's the guy the hero is named after.
You are a mountain of knowledge, but let's start the team fight, right? Crit, caught over on the side. Rocket's going to connect, giving Weehan the kill. Now the battle from range begins. The Chrono, it just caught Arteezy on the edge. The boat's coming in, so it's a defensive disruption. A quick push away as Miracle finds himself disarmed. A lot of big abilities burnt out by EG. What are they going to get in return? Kuro looks to be here for the Force-Staff, trying to get them a little bit further down. So the illusions will be cleaned off.
Bit surprised to see Arteezy rotating for this. You usually don't see Lifestealer do kind of anything outside of farming until Radiance. A little bit reminiscent of yesterday where he tried to maybe get involved a little too early on his anti-mage in the game against OG in Game 3. And probably better off just farming up this full Radiance and then thinking about joining his team for the moves. Armlet completed.
Now it's Team Liquid who wants to assault the EG jungle. Mind Control is just doing a little bit of a walkabout. They know all the lanes will push in anyway. That's what just happens with the Tinker. They want to find up on top. S4 is itching with Hoof Stomp Blink. GH gonna find him. Hoof Stomp actually just goes to clean up the wave instead. Liquid undone. They can bring the Tinker back. Mind Control, as well as Kuro has arrived.
They don't have Chrono though. It's hard times to fight when you don't have Chrono and the enemy. Oh, Miracle.
Oh, he just used his time walk as well. Try and dilate them up, and maybe if the stun chains can be perfect, EG, they will claim the kill on Miracle, and S4 jumping himself forward up the hill, and then in range of Kuro's Mordecai stun and the arrow, combining with the Ravage. They'll layer it, but the damage is still there. Flying Sumail being interrupted by that Ravage, and under the Moonlight Shadow, Liquid want to keep moving forward. Crit able to look for the stun, but he can't keep hitting the target because he can't see it. Meanwhile, Weeha gives the cover of the March to the Machines. Arteezy once again rotating to try and be part of this fight, but there's nothing he can do.
Yeah, the fight is already over when he arrived, so this is a bit more efficiency lost. It could be farming up that little bit faster. It's not the end of the world, but when this happens a couple of times in a row, you're starting to reach the point where maybe you could have had a 1 minute earlier Radiance, and that could perhaps lose your team fight at some point. So you gotta keep up that efficiency. It's something a lot of the commentators have been giving a player like Hector a lot of praise for from Infamous, who are now knocked out in 7th, 8th position after they lost to Secret earlier today. Was Hector has been extremely efficient at farming the map. And Arteezy has generally been considered like the pinnacle of farming patterns. Like he has been extremely good at being super efficient around the map, but in the later stages of this tournament, I feel like his efficiency has dropped just a tiny little bit compared to what we usually see. Wants to get involved, wants to play that team game, but yeah, now the Radiance is up. Now I would like to see him join some more.
Yeah. Then he can actually start comboing with S4. That's why it's like, you hear the Infest and then the fight happen up on top lane. It's like, oh, he's going to be inside of S4, get that quick pop and move on to another target. But now, at least when Radiance is up, he can jump inside of S4 and they have that combination, the delivery system for the live stealer to get him the early kill and then the advantage in the fight for EG. So 20-minute Radiance. The bounty runes will be a straight 2-2 split.
I like the items that both teams are planning, really. Tide, first of all, got this pipe for the immediate value and the Force Staff on Mirana to disengage from the Centaur jumps. And EG are planning on getting Greaves on Lina currently with a pipe on the Centaur. So they get all these auras up so that they hit a strong mid-game timing where they can win team fights. Good damage mid onto Mind Control, but
it's the combination we're looking for. The damage is setting up. Samel's throwing out a couple of abilities just to try and chip him down. There's no Ravage for 20 seconds. Weehaw is going to complete the TP out. S4's, he's covered under Invis. So no smoke break. But Weehaw's not coming to the mid lane. In fact, he's pushing out the bottom instead. And underneath the Radiant Observer and Sentry, now Team Liquid will Moonlight Shadow. They were hoping to kill off Crit. And this gank that EG has set up faces forward. He jumps over S4. He only had half a second. Miracle! He turns around. The Hoofstone won't connect.
That wasn't going to matter anyway. He was in Moonlight.
Yep.
They couldn't have killed him. So, okay. Well.
And Miracle saw him for a half second. The Sentry Ward on the low ground, I believe, actually just showed S4. That's why Miracle took 2 steps backwards.
And with this game just slowing down and not too much happening, you've gotta feel good for Liquid right now. Tinker had a hard start. He's now almost top of the net worth. The Void is getting good items. The Tide, as we talked about, has what they need to defend right now, and that's really what it comes down to, is EG, can you push some towers or not? You need to get through Tide, you need to get through Tinker. It's really, really difficult. They don't have the best siegers either. On top of all the good defense, their offense isn't great.
They need picks, right? Like that's why they set up for it in mid. Like they know they need to find a kill, then you can push a tower. And that tier 1 tower is on almost no life, but maybe as you were saying, like Liquid know, like how does EG push in? We won't even deny our mid tower.
Crit got arrow, but
he's a long way away.
No follow up on that. They're not interested in it. So back to farming we go, push out the waves. Tinker's gonna farm some jungle with... That's kind of the extra benefit Tinker has. When he's done a good job pushing out the lanes, he will expect the enemy team to go and defend their lanes, and that's when he can get an extra jungle camp or 2 in for that added efficiency.
It's been a really good recovery for him. Still about, actually something like 500, 600 gold. Behind Arteezy, 1,000 behind, behind Sumail. New items have arrived. Miracle's got his BKB, still amping up more of his damage. And what are you really getting in return? The armor's about to be completed up for Arteezy. There's a BKB build coming in for Sumail. The pipe is fully done on S4. He's going into the heart of Tarask.
You've got 2 armlets. You want to fight now then. Like these are relative tempo items. It's not like they completely fall off, but you usually, when you hit that armlet, you hit a spike in your relative power to the enemy team. Kunkka hasn't really had his be too useful. Now that they have 2, you really want to get involved in something. But it's just tough. Like pushing towers is really hard. Invading the enemy safe area in the jungle is hard. So you need to get through either a Tide or just an Ogre breaking your smoke and dying. Moonlight Shadow is a problem.
Just feels like we've just got a truce. It's like, okay, everyone, things are really difficult to try and find end to this. So what are we going to do? All right, let's just build up, like, farm our items. But the cannons are already there. Like, I think I saw, there's a mech flying out. So Crit's managed to find himself up a mech on this support Lina. The blink has arrived for mind control. So the initiation can come in from one side, but then there's always the counter. The health to kick back, the immunity or resistance. There's Tinker wards up, so EG can see when Tinker wants to make his jump. There's no disable items right yet from Weehaw. Be it Scythe, be it Yules, be it whatever.
Oh, Miracle, is he gonna fall into the Tinker trap here? Oh, they already backed off. They placed the Tinker ward, but don't stay. So.
And the Moonlight Shadow from Liquid is here for the 25-minute bounty rune setup.
And they know the ward is there too. They're pinging it out with the sentry.
Is this EG going to go to Smoke? They do have one over on Fly underneath their shrine, so S4 will come in. Smoke well out of vision of Team Liquid. Everyone from Team Liquid is here. BKB now also arrived on Sumail. Yeah, this really does feel like go time. The Observer Ward's nearby, Mind Control. They're actually playing do-si-do around the Maypole and maybe Liquid. Well, here he is, Miracle. Does he get the Chrono up? No, they get the Hopstone first. In with the torrent. Miracle instantly dead. He can buy back and fight on top of the shrine, but Kuro, he's the next target. They've got enough damage to get through him, one after the other. EG finding Team Liquid players. Mind Control becomes the next one. Gets his feet wet with the torrent. Light Strike Array will also hold him, and X-Mark will bring him back. Mind Control, for all that tankiness, EG show they have the damage output required.
They'll get 3 kills and 2 bounties. Not finding GH, it looks like, playing in the trees in the bottom. But can they get some meaningful tower damage? S4, he's gonna have 13 retaliate stacks after being hit a couple of times, so I think this tower is going to go down. And that's a very well executed aggressive move from EG here. Oh, Tinker might defend. They're respawning. They're back off.
You get all those retaliate stacks, and then it's like, oh, like I get hit by laser, or well, how do I actually keep pushing into this lane? Mark's Machines takes out my wave. So we go back to the status quo, back to the item farm up. GH, it looks like the supports have to become the medics. He's going for a full Greaves build on this Mirana. Crit's doing exactly the same thing.
Yeah, he's pretty farmed on Lina. He's having a good game. Almost has the same net worth as the enemy Tidehunter. Only 700 behind him.
Do you actually like him going in for this kind of like medic style build as opposed to having this over on Centaur?
I think Centaur doesn't really want to go Greaves with the Face Boots first item, right? So he gets the pipe and he'll get something else. He's looking at a heart right now. I think Aghanims is really good this game against Void and Tinker. Keep heroes alive in the Chronosphere, get that extra damage mitigation. So yeah, I kind of like it on Lina. It still feels like a decent Yules game though, which is would usually be the other item. But that kind of always feels good on Lina. Sometimes you gotta try something else. They have other setups. They have Centaur Stomp, they have Shadow Demon Disruption, they have X-Mark. So he doesn't need to set himself up for success as much as you would do in many other leagues.
It feels nice that he could open up the space for S4 to be more dynamic with his item build-up. Like, I can be the frontliner, right?
Yep.
That doesn't have to be Arteezy being focused down by whatever Team Liquid want to build into. But they don't really have items that counter him directly just yet. Even Tinker. Weeha's building for a BKB. A Tinker with no disable outside of the laser.
Yep. He does have decent mana pool because of the Kaya, so you generally don't see BKB built this early because Tinker often needs more mana regen or more mana items in general to be efficient and have a lot of spells in the fight, but the Kaya as well as the Lens give him quite a lot of mana, so he can go for that BKB and try to fight. We'll see if he ends up regretting that or not, because it is an early BKB, and it does slow down his item progression for sure. So you imagine they want to fight once he gets it. And S4's tanking his item of choice against Tinker. When this heart comes out, he has so much magical EHP with the pipe and what will probably be around 3,500 hit points when he finishes the heart.
This could be quick. Great scout by Fly. Throws out the Shadow Poison. There's a double damage on Miracle. They've already taken 1/3 of the life off the Tidehunter. Miracle, he jumps up. He finds Crit. Already going for the quick bashes. And he actually calls Sumail right on the edge of the Chronosphere. The bow will buy some space. They'll bash it. One, but man, it's full! It's a 3-man Hoofstomp into the back line. Liquid is still trying to fight within the Moonlight Shadow. The Ravage creating space from Mind Control. The Miracle is losing life so quickly. Sumail and Arteezy just focus him down. They'll turn their attention towards Mind Control as he will also fall. They lose S4 in the back line's evil geniuses, but Crit, he's ready to fight again. He's going to find Ogre, or Ogre's going to find him, however you look at it. And once again, oh, the stun is just off the mark, but the banishment will be there from Fly. GH will fall. Kuro will go down to the one-man standing as Weeha pushing out the side lanes. But the damage to Roshan was done, so EG, RT's going to head straight into the pit.
And I don't think Liquid can defend this. The only buyback they have is the Mirana, 30 seconds on her. The first respawning hero will be Void with 15 seconds to go, but has no Chronosphere and has no BKB, so isn't really a threat at all.
It's like, do you want Weeha anywhere near this too?
And that Chronosphere, it's just not good enough. Like, getting one Lina in the enemy jungle who can just buy back and even gets her death delayed by the Ghost Ship, that doesn't cut it. You need something bigger than that. You know your Tide can't do anything to the BKBs. Once this BKB is popped on the Kunkka, once the Rage is popped on the Lifestealer, Mind Control's just running in circles in the fight and has nobody to ravage, nobody to go on. And that's why that Chrono has to be better. It has to be on the right targets.
Just felt like he was going to get a little bit more of EG, but now EG had the Aegis Immortal and Assault Cuirass as well, both on the same hero, the Lifestealer. So the auras are really starting to arrive. Sumail's actually going to be the first one to build into the Hex. This will be over on the Kunkka.
I like that a lot. Getting this utility. He has a lot of damage in his teammates. This is not the kind of game where Kunkka needs those big cleaves just yet. Lifestealer has a lot of damage. Lina, Centaur, oh, quick rage.
Actually moves back in to farm the wave and then dodges the arrow.
Why not? He already raged.
How fast can you spam we?
Well, he does play Rocket League.
Does he? Ooh! High S4. High S4.
At least he used to. I think he's actually pretty good at it. He played it a lot on his stream in the past. So.
Well, he's
very fitting hero for that.
Transferable skills in esports. Looks like EG will finally be able to push down this mid lane coming together. They don't have S4 with them, however, but there are 4 heroes together. Because EG's always having to deal with their side lanes because of Tinker. Like, we are, like, these 2 big fights that have happened which have just gone the way of EG. We still didn't die. He was still pushing out the side lanes. This Tinker is 4-1. And the one was pretty early on.
There's still a way to go, though. He's going Kaya Yasha. So still will be so far away from any big damage. No Hex, no Axe, no Dagon.
It's like the opposite of everything we've been seeing in TI. It's like, hey, we got a Chronosphere. Here's the damage. Here's the volley. We build Aghanims first on time to reach this point. Nice and quickly.
Chronosphere. I have move speed.
But it's just when you just say, like, Liquid believe later in the game they can take this. Because that feels like that's the way Weeha is itemizing for this.
Oh,
like it's like, okay, we're playing for 80 minutes, 90 minutes.
Maybe not that much.
Maybe he's got a compendium prediction.
But I honestly think Liquid's game plan doesn't really come online until in 15 minutes.
He walks underneath the tower. He didn't see them. They were covered inside the Moonlight Shadow, but Arteezy will just rage up and armlets away. Cole?
He has 46 armor with armlet activated. Or something like that. It was a high number. Over 40. I'll spoil that much for you.
S4's going to finish the bottom tower. Easily done. And it really does feel like they're still buying more time. Miracle's building into the MKB as fast as he can. Looking for this straight up damage. Arteezy, he knows how tanky he is. Mind Control's waiting up on the hill. The rest of EG, they're in the trees, ready to fight. Arteezy the front liner. And then, well, S4 blinked in looking for his own opportunity. Mind Control picked up, buying the torrent. Arteezy, remember, he's just here for the tower. They don't want to fight underneath the March of the Machines. EG want to fight on their terms.
Well, they got the 2 towers they wanted. They have good vision placed out. And now the challenge is to get the top area. Get these 2 top towers, get the enemy triangle area so Tinker can't farm that, further limiting the space of Liquid. They're waiting for a move right now. They would love to jump them in the mid lane because that's a great access point to get up to top after they get a pick off. For now, Liquid are not falling for it.
No.
Arteezy's just gonna farm.
What do they do? Weeha just keep rearming, blinking down the lane, just keep creep skipping out everything. And EG can't keep up with him. Like, he just keeps going. He not only did he nuke the like one wave, he then blinked 5 times to reach the second, and now he goes all the way to the base to reach the third. Doing this in the grand span total of maybe 10 seconds?
Something like that.
Yeah. It's crazy the speed he's able to achieve.
It's the Yasha Kaya, man. He moves so fast. It's totally not the rearmed blink dagger.
Stampede is out. Mind Control, he's already leaving. And EG. Maybe a misclick, but also maybe They're just really itching for a fight. They've had this Aegis the Immortal. The tower's been taken, and Liquid have done a good job just to avoid it and find the farm on the course. MKB is now done.
It's just the way Weeha's playing. I love the way he's playing. He's making the right decisions. Like, it's debatable if this is the ideal item build, but his playstyle with it is absolutely correct. Like, you keep skipping waves, you keep buying time.
Now he's going to go for the
Stay out
Hex.
of harm's way.
He's going to start finding the Disable in a bit.
Void
And it
with
always...
the KB.
Like, how do you fight this if you're EG? You want to push, you've got an Aegis, but you're always on your side lanes.
It's hard to go high ground. You kind of have to map control.
Someone
primarily.
see that courier. Someone see that courier.
Oh my
It's got so much money. And look who's coming over in the Moonlight Shadow. They won't see it up on the trees. But if they do, Sentry Ward, if Kuro, no Observer Ward.
Oh, if Mind Control knew this.
It's so close.
Does he see it here?
He
saw it, he saw it.
They pinged it. If this thing dies, look at the money. They're waiting for someone to come over. It's going to be the Lina. She'll die quickly, but the courier feels like the bigger one. Weeha's going to find it. He'll fortify up. Weeha, you know he wants to chase this. He'll blink into the trees. He has to re-arm and blink again over the small area. Kill the couriers. One more up through the trees. Keep chasing into the base. No, okay. It's worth a lot, but maybe not that much.
That would have been a really big kill. It has almost 2 full hearts on it. Centaur's heart is, I think, yeah, it's completed when he gets the courier. And the heart for Lifestealer is also completed once he gets to the secret shop, so... And those are the items. You want that item against Tinker. It is the item in a lot of games, just raw health. Tinker has no percentage-based damage, so getting max health is very effective against this hero. And when you look at the rest of Liquid, there's actually nothing that does percentage-based damage compared to, say, the Feast of Lifestealer, which scales very well against tankiness items like that. Ogre mid.
Yeah, they're going to have a bit of a crack over towards S4. Stampede will get him away to safety. Weeha, he knows he can keep up with him, but doesn't want to do it. You know, the hilarious thing is too, like, GH has now also gone for the Agate himself with a blink. He's moved off building Greaves. How much wave clear does Team Liquid really need? They've got it in droves. You lose one, there's another 2 heroes to replace you for it.
Yeah, it's a good point that if one hero dies, somebody else can do the job.
And it's the expendable ones too. You put, like, you see Lina able to always push out side lanes. I think it was actually like AUI was the first one I remember really just cleaning up the waves from inside the tree lines. And this time you get it, long range arrow from GH, unable to connect. Arteezy, Moonlight Shadow once again. Did anyone bring that detection? Not to the front lines at least, but sentry wards are now being placed down by Fly.
They might want to get a gem on the Centaur. He's tanky enough now.
Yeah.
He might need some armor too, though. So maybe, like, I don't think Centaur should buy the gem.
He's buying Shiva's next.
Who do you buy it on? Can Delina buy it? She wants to go Solar Crest. Oh, top lane. This is dangerous.
Weeha's right in the trees with everybody else from Liquid. Who's jumping forward? It's Crit to show himself. Lifestealer, or starting with the with the open wounds, but GH into the trees already. Miracle hexed up already. The Ravage, mind control. It hits so huge. Over on 3. It's actually maybe be enough with the boat. They don't take damage quick enough. Now Lifestealer will go down. They get through the heart. It's a Mail caught by the Chronosphere. S4 wants to help out, but what can he do? He'll have to jump after you've actually got the Chrono down. Able to do so with the double edge. Miracle, time walk to Babel. He'll repair all the damage done to him. And mind control, Electric Array instantly broken up by the Kraken Shell. Liquid, not only have they taken these kills, maybe with Fly's TP out, yeah, it's still going to be a kill going the way on the Lifestealer, but that's all.
Could Crit really not
Where is all the
stun?
kills in?
Could Crit not reach a stun there on the Void when he went for the Laguna Blade? I feel like he was just barely in range, has the cast range talent and the lens. And if he connects his stun first before that Laguna, that is an absolutely easy trade-off for 1-for-1, but yeah, Liquid get away with it. Big Ravage from Mind Control.
Let's have a look at this again.
So it's really important this Ravage comes out for 2 reasons. First of all, it sets up for the kill on Arteezy, but secondly, it saves Miracle, who was definitely going to get comboed to death here after getting caught by the Hex that I don't think he knew about from the Kunkka. Nice. Nice!
Wow.
Oh, shit. I can lip read.
Roshan.
Even when they don't move their lips.
Roshan time. And we'll see just how much damage Team Liquid have. Ariva's been delivered over to Miracle, give him some extra life. Kuro's being the buffer, Roshan's already dead. EG will not get there in time, even under the cover of smoke. They just have to back off. The Scythe is now completed on Weeha too.
That's a really big item.
The big disable to stop those EG cores. The advantage has all gone away, but now S4! Offstops into the backlines. Remember, there's no Ravage available. The arrow flies it straight, soaked up by the rage. They just want to get one kill to begin with. Mind control might be the easiest one, but they'll start with Kuro. 4-staff down, still into the Sentry Ward. He's going to walk out of range of the detection, and mind control can blink. Nothing was there to stop it. And with the march of the machines, EG have to walk through the army. They only get the Ogre.
Mind control was piped, so his dagger wasn't getting cancelled by the Radiance of Lifestealer. And he manages to get out with a good 4-step save coming in. It's a good move from EG to try to take this fight because they know Ravage is on cooldown, but they are not satisfied with only getting an Ogre there. They definitely want to find a core.
They want to fight again, but Ravage is off cooldown in 5 seconds time. Chrono is available. S4's moving forward. And just arrowing around looking for the 40-minute bounty runes. You know Tinker can claim the bottom ones. Finally, the gem has been purchased. It was done by Fly. Miracle, time walks away. S4, blink, horse stomps forward. GH got one quick of a link, but crit. He'll get the follow-up stun. Having the range available. Miracle will TP out the tree lines. Now EG, with a little bit of momentum, can look to take out these top lane towers. Even though mind control's being a bit of a nuisance. He's cleaning up the creep wave behind it.
This tier 2 that S4 is pushing right now is not a given right now. That is not a guaranteed tower take if Liquid smoke up in time. They could try to go for it. It looks like they're not interested in doing that. Oh, they don't have a smoke available.
Kuro's coming up to get the vision advantage. Observer sentry down, they can see a lot.
Void.
Miracle. 2 players underneath the tower. There's your first hex going out over on S4. Miracle is looking for the back lines. 3 of them inside the trees. Miracle found them. RTZ can't really stop it either. Arrow fights forward. RTZ be outside the one for Miracle. He's already got the 2 supports down inside the jungle. And then mind control with the Ravage. Controls up the course. The boat's coming in. But the damage from afar. Maybe they have enough to break the Aegis Immortal. They actually do, but he'll be back to life in just a second. Same with a buyback from Kuro. And here comes Miracle. Body block him up and time lock up Arteezy. They tried to stampede themselves away, but it won't happen. Weeha just keeps moving forward. Arteezy's rage will wear off in a second. The Hex is there over on S4. He infests them up. The stun's on the side. They can't help. S4 stunned up with a long range arrow from GH. They just keep going one to the next. Arteezy, he'll have to try and turn and fight. He's 1v5 before. Can he do it again? Samal wants to help him out. Arteezy, is he big? Is he bad? Or is he dead? Miracle wants him around the trees, looking for a time lock with the gush. The armor will go down, open wounds. The torrent creates some space, but nowhere near enough. The buyback's there from S4, but now it's Conquer. We keep the chase going. This began at the Radiant base, and it may end at the Dire. S4 jumps into the back lines. He's able to get at least the pick off over on GH. The Miracle still keeps going ham. S4 hex up Fly, can't get the disruption off, so now he'll go down. He'll get it offensively, but that means he's dead to the world. Miracle jumps in. They're looking for the other. Guys, you forgot something.
Hello?
Fly's going towards the trees. Up you go. He'll fight him. Hex and blow him up with the rockets.
I'm sorry. Everybody just left him. They knew he couldn't get back out. He TP'd in, so they were on the hunt. It just looks funny. Awesome fight from Liquid. That is just the chrono. That is all on the amazing chrono from Miracle, getting them that 3-man chrono in the start, 2 kills. They keep chasing down with their man advantage. And EG, a little bit too patient maybe with their buybacks. The heroes that are arriving to help the others out always arrive right after the hero they're trying to save has died. And that creates this massive snowball for Liquid where they're just keeping... They actually just got bonus kills. That would have been better if EG bought back no heroes. Because they ended up just dying anyway.
They bought back 4 heroes through that chase. Miracle looking for the mid-tier 3 tower, already claiming the melee racks on top. Mind control, he's gone in deeper. The chrono again, able to catch out Crit, able to get Fly. The support, this is the way Liquid begin their fights. They take him out, then jump down, protecting Weeha. He BKBs, he's actually glimmered away. They can't find him, maybe they can. Samal can actually burn him down, but you've got the torrent, a little bit of space being created. Arteezy and Samal once again have to work together, but Miracle, he is godlike, looking for the quad. If he can jump in forward, and yes he can. Time lock Arteezy, they are bashed to oblivion, and GG, Team Liquid. Patience was a virtue heavily displayed in this series, but they win it 43 with 23 on the board for kills.
Just honestly a really nice strategic win from Liquid. Like the understanding that we don't really try to fight in this time span because we need to farm up. We keep skipping waves, we keep pushing out. EG have a really strong stun lineup that wants to fight us non-stop. We're not going to give them the fights they want until we're ready, until Miracle has the items he needs, until Tinker has the items he needs. and we just keep making space and buying time without Tidehunter being annoying. Just, yeah, very well-played game by Liquid. They're definitely coming alive right now in the main event.
Yeah, they really are. They're dangerous in this lower bracket. The smiles are up. They're looking good. The drops are looking great. The execution's looking perfect. And Weeha looks like he's finally perfectly gelled with Liquid, taking them to a 1-0 in this series.
Yeah, what a fantastic start to a best-of-3 series here. Elimination match for the International 2019. Now, before we at this, the main panel, get a crack at breaking down this game, I wanted to actually give the chance to our draft panel to reflect on what they thought was going to happen compared to what actually happened. So, Purge, Fogged, Febby, take it away.
The main panel?
They called us the main panel.
I mean, if we have to be on stage as well, we might as well be included in the panel discussions, right? We're always here. Oh, what about the Tinker pick? It worked out pretty well?
Yeah, I mean, the greed ended up working. I think that's what we were all looking at. We see Tidehunter, we see Void, we see...
Tinker?
Tinker, yeah, sorry. Sorry, brain fart for a second. I thought I said it. Tidehunter, Void, Tinker, very greedy cores. They end up actually holding on to their side of the map really well. They defended their mid tower constantly. They took EG's mid tower first. And I feel like EG, they had to be a little bit more aggressive and just get more control of the map. But the greed worked for Liquid.
I mean, it's even hard for them to take team fights, right? Because they've got Tidehunter, they had Faces Void, like, difficult to fight into it, and they also had to deal with the Tinker. It felt like a lot of problems to solve.
Yeah, they were definitely on timer, especially the life stealer getting picked so early. There was a lot of counters from Liquid side. If they didn't take a huge lead before 20 minutes, then they were in trouble because they were gonna get outscared from the Void Chrono. There's Tinker flying all over the place. There's not good lockdowns. I think there was a fight middle lane at around 10 minutes or so, and they couldn't take down mid tower due to an amazing arrow flying and hitting the Kunkka. I think that was pretty big.
Yeah, it was a pretty good performance by Sumail and the rest on EG, but ultimately didn't work out in the end. So that's going to be the end of game one.
The end of game one, indeed. Thank you so much, guys. Really like that insight. Oh, Danny, I also want to talk to you a little bit because you said before the game started, I'm going to focus on this mid matchup. And this mid matchup was Tinker versus Kunkka. And I know Tinker won in the end, but it didn't start out looking that way.
Oh yeah, Sumail totally demolished this lane. And I'm not sure if it's supposed to go that way. And there is a lot of credit to Sumail. But Weeha, he stayed calm. He farmed up his items. He knew everything is okay. He defended the towers. The problem with EG, like guys said, there is no tower damage and there is low team fight. So it's really hard. I mean, Nikes can hit towers whatsoever, but when there is Void and Tidehunter who will just go on you, there is Marshal machines with going. So it's super hard for them to push towers, and when the game go late, Tinker and Void are just gonna crash everything. So even though Sumail had such a perfect style, by the way, I want to point out that EG probably one of the strongest team on laning phase out here. They have the best stats at minute 10 net worth wise, and they showing it again and again and again. Yeah. And even here, they won the lanes pretty much, but they just couldn't use that lead with their heroes. The heroes didn't allow them to.
Because you have this Kunkka who, his role after that is basically, I want to go across the map and set up pickoffs, right? For my team, we want to start killing these guys off and trying to pressure objectives after that. Weeha, he knows his role in the Tinker is, I'm just going to delay this game. I'm going to keep things going. And even if the laning stage didn't go that well for him, he knew his role and he did execute that. And Tinker's just one of those heroes that you get to this point where if there's not these, kind of niche, I guess, counter picks, like if you don't have the Nyx Assassin, the Storm Spirit, maybe the Clockwork, something like that, it is so hard to catch that slippery guy. I mean, we've had patches where there are just months of I hate Tinker.
And the thing is, even if you catch Tinker, you have 2 counter initiation by Void and Tide, so it's super hard.
Yeah. You want the real deal?
Sure.
Give it to me. Listen, the side attraction was nice, but this is the main event panel, and this is where the main analysis comes in. And all of them have said really smart things, and I think it's all good. But here's the real crux of the problem in that game. Okay. Evil Geniuses, they come from North America. They come from the US East server. You know what that server's all about? It's about hitting creeps. It's not about hitting heroes. It's not about taking fights. It's about hitting creeps. So all you have to do to beat Evil Geniuses is just outgreed them.
done. As soon as I see Liquid about Greeted Evil Geniuses done and dusted, it's over, because EG, they come from a region that doesn't know how to fight, doesn't know how to be aggressive, just wants to farm.
They knew how to fight last year, though. We saw them do it. They came third at the International 2018, and I know this year's been rough, and I think Disney Major as well as Macau, they faced each other, and Liquid was victorious on both sides.
Yeah, but Shiva, you're forgetting they've got more North Americans now. You saw the recent piece. I mean, he's been converted. S4 is looking good. Guns up, crit. He's got that shoulder check, shoulder check. The guy is just he's a Canadian through and through.
That was only last year.
No, but now they've evolved further.
Oh.
Yeah. Thank
He's
you.
got the blonde mullet going.
Yeah, I mean, he looks good. That's what I'll say. Party in the back, business in the front. Oh, it's good. They were missing the Canadian tuxedo, though, the all denim. He could move up next time.
Seriously, though, that is why the laning phase has always been so important for EG, is because classically they have been a little bit more farm heavy. And so we saw the start of that, unfortunately wasn't good enough.
Well, we're going to soon see the start of the next game, but we're going to take a little break. It is time for something different. It's time for something special for you.
Don't let this pretty scene fool you. This world is a dangerous place. When you get to be my age, you'll see friends come and go. It's important to take care of the ones still kicking. In the heat of battle, you'd be surprised how far a little kindness might go. But not everyone deserves kindness. Hello, Auntie. This all you brought? Yes. Oh. I didn't offer to share.
It's a support hero, and I'm gonna try to play it as support, feed people cookies, blow people up, and it has a mount that blows fireballs.
Sorry, Shiver, it's a solo mid hero.
No, you guys are both wrong. It is clearly an offlaner. It's matched up against Timbersaw. It's an offlaner, obviously.
Well, no, if you're matched up against Timbersaw's on the off lane, so you're on the safe lane, so you're supporting.
Shiva, we got this. I know. Don't worry. This is a support hero, 100%.
Casey and Slacks, I know you're out there, and I know you're excited.
First of
Cookies,
all,
explosions.
Oh my gosh. First of all, as a lover of Timbersaw, I'm incredibly excited. Second of all, I know that for a lot of people watching the US stream, you can't get as much of the arena excitement, but the whole crowd went absolutely nuts when they saw that.
Who wouldn't go nuts for that, dude? The Lord? She was giving out cookies. Grandma giving out cookies and killing people sounds like my grandma.
Sounds like you. It just sounds like you.
No, I'm not an old keen woman. There's a lot of lore in there, guys. I'm excited. This crowd was going absolutely wild. I cannot wait to play Lizard Woman.
Can I just say to the panel, he is sick and losing his voice, and he still insists on talking at full Slacks volume, even though we keep telling him to just take it down.
There's a new hero, Casey. It's a lizard grandma. It's amazing. Screw the voice. Back to you.
Oh, hey, there we are. Wouldn't have it any other way.
Believe me, Casey, you probably haven't had as much experience with slacks as us, but for years we've been trying to tell him to stop being so slacks.
Inside voice.
But
he doesn't have one of those.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry. Thank you, Casey and Slacks. I love the reaction. I can't wait. Fall is very soon.
Dude, that was adorable, beauty.
Careful promises there, Shiver.
I mean, that's just a couple months away.
This looks pretty soon.
This does look pretty sick. I wonder if they were just backstage. You know, you see that announcement. Are you going to keep your head cool in the game and focus on the next game? Are you already prepping strats for Snapfire?
I hope not. I think by focusing on the game sounds like a good idea. Oh, those detectives, the lore detectives, you know, they were looking through those response lines. I know a lot of stuff about food in here, guys.
Yeah, they were already a lot of...
That was not an audio. I just want to be clear, that was not a sound bite.
That was...
I'll leave it a mystery as to who did it.
There were already a lot of lines discovered. It's like, why is Willow talking about food that you should have eaten? And then it's like, you know, food hero? But I'm confused, though, because she threw a cookie.
Mm-hmm. It buffed up the Invoker.
We're going to talk about the match soon. Threw a cookie, buffed the Invoker.
Uh-huh.
Are you okay?
And her big dragon.
Just ignore that at the bottom. This is a Snapfire.
Ti,
We'll be there in a second. She threw a cookie, buffed Invoker.
Yeah.
Right.
She rockets someone. That's maybe probably just her auto attack.
Yeah.
Her lizard mount, dragon mount, looked a lot like what's his name? How to Train Your Dragon, Black Dragon?
Yeah.
He was very smiley. I love it.
Yeah.
Anyway, he threw a fireball, but it was close range
at
and
the
jumped.
same time.
But it
Yeah,
was
so
close
it was
range,
gap.
so you're jumping over someone.
Yeah, yeah.
What did I miss?
And then the ultimate.
Pure love, pure love.
Oh, I didn't know you were a voice
ultimate
actor.
is when she mounts the guns and she just was firing nonstop.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
I'd have to
yeah.
say so.
But it looked like she also had a way of chasing people, like
Maybe
some movement thing.
Could be.
I don't know.
Maybe.
All right, let's talk
She
about
got on her horse and ride.
It's not a horse, it's a dragon.
Sorry.
Wait until the cosmetics. I'm sure she's gonna get a horse at some point.
Very true.
All right.
Okay, fine.
Evil Geniuses, Team Liquid. Winner moves on to be in the decider match on 3rd, 4th. Meaning, if AG lose this game, they are top 6. That will be their end result. That's not where they want to be. They also don't want to be in the next match. They want to be in that grand finals and they want to win. How are they going to achieve that? What needs to be changed? Because Cap, you already said, you know, you got to stop farming, start fighting, you know?
Well, obviously, my solution for EG would be to pick 5 carries and be greedy. But I'll leave Dendi the real analysis of what they should do.
We see both teams being adapting to TI meta more and more through playoff. We see more heroes showing up again and again, like Shadow Demon, Elder, Titan, Ogre, Mirana, and now we see this Void coming up.
Every single game.
Every single game in playoff, and he's super strong. So what I can advise for EG is just get yourself a Void.
It
Get yourself
feels,
a Void.
yeah, it feels like it comes upon you all of a sudden, right? Because I feel like for the past 2 or 3 days we've been saying, oh, every team's so different and they're bringing different stuff. But as those teams get put by the wayside, we're starting to bring some things together. I see some common factors here, like this double bubble, this idea of having like 2 giant teamfight ultimates in this case, like even 3 sometimes, right? So winning
Cinderin
those
was
team
ahead
fights.
of the curve. That's what you're
he
saying.
knew. Yeah. Well, I mean, who else started it here was Secret, right? Secret, Yapsor connected to Cinderin. It all comes together.
Speaking of Secret, we actually saw that similar playstyle that Liquid just showed, which is being able to have like a combination of like very superior team fight, be greedier than the enemy team, ensure that you have late game, and force the enemy team to come into you. And I think that's always going to be a stronger strategy at TI when the pressure really mounts, and I feel like it's harder to play that perfect aggressive game, you know? Perfectly control the map, don't leave any openings, push high ground well, don't actually feed away your advantage. Like, the TI just, all the stakes are so high.
It's
that
hard to
I feel
go
like
for that like
harder.
blind blink, right? It's like that idea of just like, we know they're up there, you scan, it's red, and then you're like, all right, buddy, Sand King, you're up, dude, get up. That you blink, that instant reaction of going 3 hero stun. Like, you don't want to do that up on the TI stage. That's terrifying. But sometimes when you're more relaxed, those are the plays that win those games.
I wanna really, for a second, talk about the history between these players, because it is very rare that we have 10 players on the stage that have such an intricate, that's a word somewhere, history with each other. In the old days, it was Weehaw playing together with Fly. Might not be known to many people. They played on a team called Meepone. It's funny.
Yeah,
It's good. Yeah.
And we had, of course, you know, you got Liquid and OG history, and you got EG and OG history. They're both there. You got GH replacing Bulba at the original Liquid squad. You got Bulba playing for Team Liquid for 2 TIs in a row, actually doing the famous Liquid is doing it. That was Bulba playing on Liquid. You got Bulba playing together with the people when they was on Secret. There are so many people that have been on Secret in this matchup. There's so much history.
Yeah.
Like, does that matter? Is that in their heads anywhere?
Well, it means they know each other really well, right?
Yes, that is
like
true.
as players, like their tendencies and just being able to know those sorts of things and what individuals want to be able to go for. I think that does mean a lot.
But Cap, isn't it more important to know yourself? I think that's what they have to do.
We
Play your
know
own
each
game.
other, and we want to beat each other asses.
Boom. Setter.
Well, they're gonna get a chance. Well, at least one more chance in the case of EG for now. Let's find out what's gonna happen here in game number 2: Evil Geniuses and Team Liquid.
Evil Geniuses versus Team Liquid. Game 2.
Second match here in this best of 3 is going to be massive, and the draft has already started, so let's hop into it and see what the new picks are going to be. Are going to see some adjustments maybe the Faces Void coming through. What do you guys think?
More prioritization of team fight, I think, is probably the biggest thing, and also late game assurance. I think that's one thing I did see EG doing in a lot of their games, right? When they saw them pick up the PA the other day, which was just like a big shocker, and then they just had that late game that they were able to take versus Secret over and over again in the fight. I think that's probably what we're going to see adapted here.
Yeah, we saw like this similar pattern happening yesterday against OG. EG, yes, they do win lanes, but I think they have to think about the after too. I think they need to find the right balance of both.
I actually kind of liked Cap's point, even though it was kind of memey. He's just like, if you're out-greeting EG, they're probably in a bit of a tough spot. It's actually felt, you know, pretty impactful, because it's very true. We've seen the way Liquid's been playing and getting back to their state when they actually won TI, where they're doing a lot of split pushing, a lot of making space, waiting for that late game so they can just get that super farmed carry coming out.
It does seem like when Liquid plays the stronger Dota is that split push and just like go late game. Whether that's Miracle Anti-Mage, Miracle Arc Warden, we are like late game heroes, you know?
Oh. First phase ban on the Void.
Look at that. So Tiny makes it through, Shadow Demon makes it through, Elder Titan makes it through.
ET is going to be very hot for these both teams.
Yeah.
Is it the first pick?
I think it is, because it just provides you so much. It provides you that team fight, it provides you good lane presence as well. And it's just an amplifier.
Yeah, Liquid loves SD, so I think they're discussing about it.
If you pick ET here, your opponents get SD and Mirana. Is that too good as a pairing to let through?
I think ET is okay against SD, so I think they can let that one go. They can pick SD, but they cannot pick. They can pick ET, but they cannot pick SD because ET is really good against it. And they do it.
I really like the ET. I think it opens up your draft to having, like we were mentioning, we're a little worried for Liquid. They need a big damage source, and they were able to get that Tinker. ET always solves everything. You look at an ET draft, and you're like, yeah, they're okay on damage pretty much every single time, because he just makes every hero just feel that much better. And he always has such good team fight control throughout every stage. And like I said, yeah, strong lanes.
I mean,
he's always really strong.
He's basically increasing your magic damage by like 33% or something like that.
Yep.
With a resistance amplification. Oh, Tiny, the other hero. We forgot about Band in first phase last game, I believe.
Yeah, I think the three we said, right, was Tiny, SD, and Elder Titan, the three big ones that we had seen. I think the Rana is still left, but let's see. I think they're still probably going to look at that.
I still do believe like Tiny, he needs like a AoE controller, something like Void. We saw Tiny Void opening a lot from Team Secret, and I think like it's the new Phoenix, it's the new combo for the Void. So he needs to find the right combo.
Well, SD, the remaining support, it's really good. I think this opening is fine though. Yeah, they're gonna lack some AoE to disable, like you were just talking about. But I think SD covers save against ET combos, for example. Amplifies their damage, lots of good things.
Yeah, that's for sure. So with this ET pairing, so I think they're probably debating if they want to open up early on with the Gyro. It's a little bit weird, but I think it's just such a strong hero that pairs really well with it.
For me, I kind of don't like the ST pick. Like, I know ST was like the hot hero for this tournament, but it's not that good against ET. So I actually don't know.
I mean, it's not incredible against ET, but I mean, obviously there's more heroes coming, and at some point there's going to be some chain stun stuff, and having disruption against that just makes the game so much easier, especially when it's unlocked at the start of the game.
Yeah, at least it provides a save. But yeah, I agree with Febby. It's actually just ET feels good versus ST because you're easily able to set up for your stomps, and just overall like the team aspect of the game. This hero just provides so much as an Elder Titan. Liquid's taking a lot of time here for this one.
Mirana's an obvious gimme here that could be picked. If you get a stomp, you throw the arrow. Obviously, ST can counter it. They go for the alchemist instead. Out-greeting EG, is that what's the narrative of the series?
Well, it just might be, right? That is really strong pick. So now they're going to just try to protect this alchemist.
But Sumeru looks so impressive whenever he faces an alchemist mid,
So they might just put in the safe lane then, right? And just put that on Miracle and pick Weehaw, a matchup that he can actually be okay versus Sumail.
Yeah.
So it's going to be up to them to right away. You're going to have to see a lot of pressure coming out from EG. At least they do have heroes that are good with that, right? Like ST, he can be good versus Alchemists.
Yeah. Liquid must be thinking about that too, because Sumeru is amazing at punishing these greedy mid heroes with his aggressive heroes.
I think that's why we see like the Batrider ban, right? I think that's like the teller for me that it's like, all right, ban out the heroes that just can dive and kill this Alchemist constantly inside of the laning phase. I think Batrider is one of the big ones.
Yeah, another it's an S4 hero too. So.
Yeah. We'll take out that Mirana themselves on EG.
I feel like something we saw a lot in the laning stage was Alchemist would basically guarantee his Radiance at a good timing, and then you get in the late game and grab all these like damage talents, and then he become just like a solo gank hero. That was a little bit too scary. Are we expecting to see something kind of similar here, or do you think it'll just be like kind of like boring AFK Alchemist?
I think the build's not really changed too much. It's like Radiance, Blink, BKB, AC, and then they just go for this timing around 25 minutes and just run at you. Maybe even the Blink gets replaced, but I really like the Blink. It's just a really good follow-up for any type of stuns you have. And that's the build that you're talking about, right? That you just become a super hard right clicker and you just start pretty much eating anybody alive if you do get on them.
AA gets spammed.
Makes sense.
The countered Alchemist prevents his regen during the ult.
Yeah.
Playing aggressive and getting solo kills as Alchemist is always going to be good, but knowing EG, like this team always puts their #1 priority on lane. So this Alchemist is going to be quite behind, and I feel like he's just gonna play catch up. They're gonna be behind until like 20-25 minutes, and then I feel like that's the name of the game. That's always been the name of the game for Liquid. I feel just hold until one of them is online, Weehaw or Miracle.
What kind of heroes would you pick to counter Alchemist lane, like you said?
Timber. That was actually the main one. They picked it before I could say it, but yeah, Timber has been, I think we've seen a couple teams actually try it versus the Alchemist. I think it's also, it keeps them a little bit flexible because that can still be Sumail. They can also put that in the top lane.
Yeah. So there's like Timbers, Embers, heroes that just bullies him out of the lane and can kind of chase him too.
For this one, like Timbersaw for me is one that he actually goes like even into the later stages of the game that he's really strong versus Alchemist. If he keeps up, as long as he doesn't start falling behind and just getting caught up by something like these Spirit Vessels or just dying a couple times in a row, if he keeps up in farm, he's able to just kill this Alchemist extremely easily with that stat reduction.
But that's when like the ET pick kicks in, I think.
Yeah.
If the Liquid picks a lot of like good magical damage in their last two heroes because Rubik doesn't provide damage, this Gyro can be in trouble because of this ET. And I don't know, like Timber is good against Alchemist, but I haven't seen the latest matchup where Alchemist goes like that build where he doesn't fall off with the 40% cleave, the right click build instead of the Octarian Shiva magical build.
I'm trying to remember back to the game. I'm pretty sure it was Mineski that had played it. I think, or was it Mineski? No, I think it was Fnatic. No, it was Fnatic. I think Ice was playing it. I can't remember the exact game anymore, but it was during the group stages. I don't believe they won the game, but I do remember it happening. And they had a good early game, but it got to a point where, like you said, the Alchemist just started killing him.
Well, here's a perfect support to pressure the Alchemist. The Earth Spirit can easily gank mid, can move around jungle, and initiate easily. Could be a great setup for Timbersaw follow-up. So Ember response pick from Liquid. So a little bit of mobility on their side. He's going to not get locked down very much this game, it looks like.
Yeah, very good magical damage coming with ET too. Now Timber looks like he's killable.
Yep.
As the Earth Spirit is going to have a very hard game too because of this Ember.
ET Ember has always just been one of those classics as well. As like Gyro ET, I think like the Void ET and the Ember ET are the biggest three for me, because you're just a mixed component. You have that physical and you have that magical throughout the entire stage of the game, and they both can just easily throw their spells into the backlines and, like you said, take out those supports.
So do you think they're going to put Ember Sphere mid now, throw Alchemist in the safe lane, or I mean they're going to try to lane dodge, right?
Dodging, I think,
keep
is
the
probably
Alch away
gonna be.
from the Timber, right?
Yeah, it's really important to have eyes on this roaming Earth Spirit. I think GH has to do a very good job of chasing him around, or like have wards down to see the Earth Spirit roaming around.
You talked about how EG like prioritizes so much in the lanes, and I think the one thing that they're covering their bases is they have Tiny and this Timbersaw versus the Alchemist. Both of them can actually put a lot of pressure and bully wherever the Alchemist is. And oh my God, is that a first pick Darkseer?
He got picked?
The Darkseer.
All right,
Spectre looks really good for EG. Anti-Mage, Spectre. Anti-Mage looks really good too against Darkseer Ember.
Yeah, Anti-Mage looks like it could be good. They do have some catch, of course. They have the chains as well as the Rubik, but
right now EG needs like a real game winner. Like the rest 4 of these heroes, they're gonna be very strong early mid, but they're eventually gonna fall off, I feel.
they need that late game insurance, right?
Yeah.
Like we were talking about last time. Like they need to have that thing that they will be able to take it if things don't go according to plan and they don't just run over Liquid or something. They need to have something else.
So what makes Darkseer good this game? Just the Ember pairing?
Ember pairing, lots of magic damage versus the Timbersaw. I think he's also just the protective hero. He's going to be getting those defensive items for the Alchemist to protect him versus the high magic damage that I see from EG.
It buffs Ember so much too, especially with ET. There's a lot of magical damage, and I think Mind Control is the best Darkseer out there too.
+1 to that.
Oh, this EG's last pick is going to decide the game. The pressure is on them too, so I feel like, yeah.
AM and Spectre are the top 2 that we're seeing at the moment, right?
Yeah, what other heroes can RTG provide?
Very passionate EG fan.
Lifestealer.
Okay.
Well, what do you think about that? You guys were disappointed last game about it?
I've seen it have some success versus the Alchemist, though, if you do have that good timing. I don't know if he's going to go Radiance. I think maybe you try to go faster. You try to set the pace, and you go for the Armlet, the Deso, and you just try to keep running at them with your lineup. Could be a possibility for them, but
Yeah, could work effectively against the Alchemist, against the Ember Spirit. They can be physically weak.
I can see it working with Crit Earth Spirit. The lockdown is a problem, but if Crit locks them down, I think Lifestealer can do its job.
Lane advantages? Do you think they're going to be able to dodge the lane?
I think definitely EG has
EG has the lane advantage.
Yeah, EG is going to be leading early game. I think it's like a repeat from game 1. Liquid just wants to stall the game with Alchemist and out-greed them, and EG has to punish that greed.
Agreed. Well, EG getting ready for the match to begin in just a second here. Rubik effectiveness this game. He seemed a little bit out of place to me. JH grabbing him there. It didn't seem like there's that many good spells to steal.
Yeah, it's a bit odd lane too with the Darkseer. Darkseer Rubik.
It's really good with stealing Timbersaw spells, though. Timbersaws are one of the best, actually, to get in the game.
Because you're maximizing, your spell amplifying the damage, right?
Yes.
And it does pure, so it's just instantly a good advantage, right?
Yeah.
With ET's Aura, it's going to do a lot of damage too.
We'll see if that'll be effective. But right before we get into the match, we're going to throw it over to an interview with Casey.
All right, Roman, obviously whatever you did the first game worked very well for you. How are you feeling about your draft as far as how it went for game 2?
In game 2, we ended up going the Alchemist route, which is something we haven't really played much this tournament. But I'm curious how it will work out, honestly.
We all are. Thank you so much. Best of luck.
Thank you.
All right, back to you.
The coach says he's curious about it. I'm wondering if that was Akuro saying, you know what, I think we're good with this. I think we're good with this draft, we're good with the Alchemist, and we're good with the Darkseer for Mind Control. First time this tournament's pick got banned once, but now we'll see if it can be played. And a huge game to try and take a gamble on this, well, unplayed hero.
I love the answer from Armin there. It's like there's multiple ways of interpreting that. Either he's not confident at all, or it's going to be really interesting because it'll be great.
My team's gone rogue.
Kind of funny. Like you combine that with the Darkseer first pick of the whole tournament. That a lot of players, I've heard multiple players actually say that they think this is the worst hero in Dota right now, which is a really big statement to make. So Yeah, let's see if the worst hero in Dota can get them a top 4 in this game.
I know we were having the debate down in the green room yesterday, where I think it was Blitz basically put him to, so why is this hero terrible? It's like, well, you can't stop the safe laner from CSing. Your Iron Shell level 1 is even worse, and we've also got a level 1 Bounty Rune fight going out on S4. Kuro does so much damage after he got a spirit over 3 different heroes. Fly, he won't live through this. There's too much damage from Kuro. One more will do it. Up the hill it goes. Spirit and attack, nothing will miss.
And they got 3 Bounty Runes too with Greevil's Greed skill. That's a really good start for Liquid.
Actually having an Alchemist, not even holding the point. He understands maybe they could be aggro trialing me, but S4, he's trying to block the wave out. He didn't go reactive armor. He went level 1 Timber Chain on this Timber Saw. And Kuro and GH, it feels like this time around they can actually ensure a good safe lane. This time, though, it's not Miracle. He's in mid lane against Zemail. Weeha's playing that safe lane Alchemist.
Yeah, Liquid have started spicing things up a little bit more with their lanes. Earlier on in the tournament, they were more or less exclusively playing Weeha in the mid lane, exclusively playing Miracle on this Alchemist if it was a safe lane hero being the game winner. But now they've built this confidence that they can do other things. We saw the same in the Art Warden game earlier today where Miracle played mid. He is currently taking a pretty serious beating, though, but we'll be fine.
Zemail grabbed him and tossed him back to the range creep when Miracle didn't have Flame Guard up and running. That's why that's going down. This feels like he's just playing into Kuro's hands. He's going to pick up boots right now. And now, high movement speed ET against an aggressive tri-lane with plus 43 damage. The Timber Chain forward, S4 getting the body block on GH with the slow kick as well from Crit. GH is dropping low, but Stickshot's giving him his life back. He does have 2 Shadow Word stacks on him, but he'll be okay through this. S4's already fallen, and Kuro trapped in the tree lines. Revenge, it will be Flies.
He bought all his, he spent all his gold before he died though. So he's gonna come back straight to lane with probably something dropped from the Alchemist. It looks like to be a Quelling Blade and a Mango and a Flask. He's gonna TP down here. Even has a Bracer for Weeha. That's a very early Bracer in the safe lane, 2 minutes in. We're keeping much safer and healthier in the lane. And yeah, great start for them. And
how to make a Darkseer work. Have an aggressive tri-lane where you don't actually attack mind control either.
Yeah, this is the thing, right? Like you said, you can play this lifestyle.
Oh, he's in trouble again, Timber. Underneath the acid spray, he's able to chain himself out. But Kuro plus 32 damage this time around. Only 2 heroes, because ES is going to find himself a double damage and not really do anything with it, in fact, because he's underneath a Radiant Observer Ward. So Miracle will definitely know if they try and gank mid.
You really don't want to tri-lane a Timber Saw. This hero needs levels. It's what makes the hero. It's getting up to that high-level reactive armor fast, it's getting level 6 fast, so you have kill potential, and therefore they can't tri-lane down here. The Shadow Demon's going to walk across the entire map in Liquid Vision, because that's the price they have to pay. They absolutely need this to be a better matchup for Timber. Getting his level 3 will help him out a lot, though. That's when Kuro's efficiency is going to start dropping.
It's just like, the supports just don't know exactly where they want to be. Apart from bottom lane, Kuro will definitely hang around here as long as he possibly can. Zemail and Miracle going hammer and tongs once again. They at least have bottle regen charges over on Zemail, so he'll get a lot of his life back. And Fly has arrived on top lane. So a little harassment against the Darkseer, but he's already got the 2nd level up in the Iron Shell. So he's got presence in the lane, but Arteezy can tank through it.
Now,
the advantage of 2 points in Feast.
Easily place this lane. You just farm the creeps. If there's a creep with Iron Shell, you can choose to hit it if you want. You can also wait until the creep wave gets into tower, and then you can farm it there.
He actually wants to attack Mind Control. SD's moving over. They're checking the tree lines, but Mind Control definitely ran north, and now he's running west. Then he'll surge himself away to safety. So a lot of wasted time. Crit has done the long walk of shame all the way back to base. You know, at least get himself the Bracer of S4 and 2 Observer Wards to point down. He'll have to head back to the bottom lane. That's Miracle hoping for the rune on bottom, but it's not nice for him. There's a regeneration rune up on top. But it looks like Mind Control will be able to go in there and snipe it. He's actually gone jungle, grabs the regen rune because Fly was trying to leave it for Zemail. Things going well for the DS.
Yeah, his start is fine. This is something that Darkseer does pretty... Like, you can look at it from 2 sides, right? Yes, the carry of Lifestealer can lane against Darkseer, but at the same time, Darkseer's getting levels and farm in this lane. He's tied with Arteezy for now, which is... It's good enough.
Yeah.
In my opinion, Darkseer's biggest weakness overall is when he gets off to a bad start in lane, because your recovery is so hard to get, but already being level 5, there's plenty of options on the map now. He can go on Ion Shell Miracle, maybe find kills, he can start cutting waves, he can go jungle and stack and farm that, or he can be super annoying and try to get a rune, but that is not going to be happening. However, if he gets disrupted here, Miracle's ready to help.
Yep, he's going to take the rune first, then he'll look for the kill. Fly thought maybe Mind Control was going to be alone. Kuro has died in the meantime down on bottom lane. But Fly burning under Miracle's Flame Guard, and he has that level 3 Iron Shell. Arteezy wants to finish the job. Mind Control, he actually hasn't popped the stacks. He buys back to try and do it, but it's already happened with the Shrine regeneration. So Mind Control is able to survive.
Not sure why Fly didn't pop the stacks earlier before he died. He had quite a good time to do it, but ends up buying back to try to get the kill, but it's too late. That's some extra salt in the wound there. How many bounty runes did Liquid get? They got, wait, how many? They got all 4? Seriously? They got all 4?
Kuro, Miracle,
with L?
Miracle bottled and then consumed. Yeah, it's yeah, all 4. Good day at the office. Avalanche, toss combo from Sumail. Here comes your rolling boulder. Crit actually going underneath Miracle. GH was nearby. Sumail feels like he's just forced away from the lane, and rightly so.
Yeah, Crit missed the timing on that. He rolled into the slight. So Miracle dodged it out, and that makes the kill not possible. You gotta be feeling the pressure as EG. You know this Alchemist is free farming. And S4 is doing what he can, but...
It's like they're trying to stop the Alchemist as well from moving off the lane. Timper's definitely going to get up in Weeha's face. There's no doubt about that. Rolling boulder. In fact, they're going to try and get up a little bit harder. Sumail, he'll arrive with the Avalanche toss combination. Kuro, low on life as well. Sumail, he's got tree in hand. And as Tiny will run under the tower, the tree toss able to connect Crit. He's got rolling boulder in a second, but it won't matter. Whirling Death level 1 will kill off Kuro. But you look at the wards from EG, they needed to add this pressure because now they've got 3 Observer wards spreading across the jungle, and they see where Alchemist TPs. They're watching Weeha's movements.
This reminds me of a game, well, of a couple of games actually. It reminds me of Topson's Tiny against EG yesterday when Arteezy was playing terribly. But it also reminds me of, I think it was maybe either a Ti7 or Ti8 from LGD, who was playing Tiny against Alchemist mid, and he just kept running at somebody in the jungle. Or was it Sumail Tiny as well that game? It was definitely a Tiny versus Alk, where the Tiny was just non-stop hunting. I actually think it was Sumail. And there we go. They're going to get in on the Alchemist.
He does not have that chemical rage. Mind Control, however, will arrive, surge him away, and Tiny, he actually gets stomped up because the Alchemist illusion stayed on top of the Centaur. We'll buy space for Mind Control to then get a rebuttal into Flying. We actually had Mind Control's face up on the screen just before here in the arena. And actually going again. Kuro's got spirits. Crit Nessa will back off. But while that happens, underneath the shrine, when he was able to survive, Mind Control was actually just giggling and laughing his ass off. So he knew what he got away with.
Sumail putting some pressure onto Miracle again in mid. But yeah, good start for Liquid. They should be pretty happy with the state of the game. Keeping the Alchemist alive there. He's going to farm a double stack in the jungle. Doesn't look like EG are in any position to contest this right now. That will give him his level 6 and make the future kills so much harder. Spore is starting to rotate over, but there's the level 6. He immediately gives up. He's also scouted out by Kuro.
I don't know if Crit really wants to have a crack at this. Well, he'll slow him down at least, buy some time for Chakram, rolling boulder, and that's the stun to keep Kuro inside the Chakram to then die to Whirling Death. I really thought there'd be more support from Liquid, but GH does not want to leave the tier 1 tower, and, well, Weeha's farming. Meanwhile, Mind Control, second highest net worth on the field.
Yeah, he's having a great game. He's an exceptionally good Darkseer player. Even if the hero is not particularly good, if it's good enough in the game, he's going to showcase what it can do in the ideal conditions. And his conditions are pretty good this game. The biggest problem I see for Darkseer is actually Demonic Purge. Prevents you from casting Surge on the target for the full 7 seconds. It just gets instant dispelled. And that's a good way of killing off the Darkseer in the later portions of the game. But for now, he got his farm off. They got the lane stabilized. They have taken barely any tower damage. And as the panel talked about, it seems like Liquid are trying to outgreed. Oh, GH is in trouble. He's going to die here.
Yeah, underneath the tier 1 tower, S4 and Crit working together. They got good reach. And all they need is that initial slow. Good surge time away from Mind Control as well. Just avoiding Fly. Fly feels like he's in no man's land. 827 is his net worth, 9.5 minutes in. Even having boots is difficult, and Mind Control's wondering, like, should I just come back over here?
They need to get bounties, EG.
Miracle's going to kill him.
Too many runes again.
Flies too far forward. Spirit jump in. You got support from Arteezy, but I think he realizes he can't really help off. All they can do is buy a little bit of time for Sumail to grab the rune, but just surged over Miracle. He wants to stand there, and who's going to get it? Actually, well, it was still Miracle who bolted up the bounty rune. Sumail trying to toss him up, but the Spirits commit off from Miracle. He doesn't want to back off. Sumail have no breathing room. Flying will arrive, but it's already done. Sumail is dead. Mind Control, Kuro, GH, almost everybody is here apart from the Alchemist. And he doesn't need to be. Arteezy picked up, rages the Valball. He wants to infest into the Centaur. Able to do so. Pops back out again. Mind Control, they make a copy of him. That won't really help. Arteezy rage TPs out to safety.
Oh, Fly's in trouble again. I know where he is.
Well, this will be yet another death. That is 5 in total for the SD. 7 of the kills of Liquid are his.
That was a rare mistake from Sumail. He's been playing a really good event in my opinion, but flat out just mistimed the combo on the bounty rune. He uses Avalanche and Toss, and Miracle still gets the rune. And then with both spells on cooldown, Miracle just runs him down. Like, what's going to stop him? They get the bounty rune, they get the kill, they get a bonus kill on the Shadow Demon who was trying to help. And in the meantime, well, Weehaw was never involved, so tons of gold going to have the Alchemist, probably looking at a 13-minute Radiance at this pace. Maybe even 12 as he's farming up 2 stacks very soon.
Oh, look at Miracle arrive once again. Surged, Iron Shelled. This Darkseer is just an enabler for the Ember Spirit, who could just jump back towards the top lane if someone wants to come and defend, which is Arteezy. Koro's still here. GH is going to leave. He has to defend the bottom lane. S4 is having a free lane down here. Getting some really good farm and momentum into this Timbersaw. In the mid lane, Miracle. Heavily stunned up. Sumail's Avalanche held him there. Remember, he's still got that defensive spirit to jump out to all the way up towards the top lane. And back towards Mind Control, who can enable him again.
Mid tower, EG are trying to put on some pressure, but the defense immediately comes in from MC.
There's 4 heroes here, though. They'll have to bring the Alchemist over too. But he's using the Acid Spray to just stack and farm.
They don't push that fast when the wave gets pulled away by Mind Control, just Ion Shelling one of the Dire Creeps to draw the aggro. It takes them so damn long to do this. And now GH is coming in. They might not even get the tower.
TP forward, and it's going to be Kuro on the front lines. They just need a grab from GH. It's a level 1 telekinesis. Can't get close enough, but he feels confident. He's got the level 3 rage stolen in GH at the moment.
Weehaw has Radiance in 200 gold.
So if you're EG right now, do you still continue to avoid the fight? We talked about like Radiance builds for Lifesteal, how you don't want to fight until that's up and running. But he's got a Hand of Midas flying on the Courier, and he's still running for his life from Miracle. And he can't outrun him. I think he actually knows this now as Mind Control's arrived. So he'll Iron Shell, surge him up, and Arteezy, the burn's just so hard, he has to rage TP out.
He's gonna get the Midas. I think you have to go combat build. I don't think the Radiance build is gonna work in this game. You're under way too much pressure. Time-wise.
EG's having a nap under the tier 1. GH is waiting for the denial. Extra TP's coming in. S4 does get the last hit. GH still in trouble. Raging up, moving away. The Avalanche and the Splitter. EG's trying to move away. Fly! Snap back in again. He'll go down. GH trying to hide the tree lines. The Spirit jumping forward from Miracle. He's found Sumail in the backs. And then with the toss, at least Sumail has some distance. Weeha's chasing him with the Spirit. He's sandwiched in between Wee as well as Miracle. Finally, Sumail will fall. And maybe with the Timber Chain away, S4 can survive. Weeha's low and live. Arteezy, he wanted the kill. The rolling boulder. Kuro, he tanks it for the team and then runs to the other side. Come and chase me. The rest of my team will survive even if I die. And then Ember wants to go in again.
Small details going right there for Liquid. Beautiful fight by them. The vacuum to buy that little bit of extra time. The Kuro blocking the rolling boulder. And they keep Weehaw alive when he arguably maybe overextended there a little bit, got a bit too confident. Has to still be careful against the Lifesteal and Timber. They have a lot of damage against him, but they played it on the edge and they made it work.
Keeps EG in a rough spot. Without the Alchemist dying, the farm continues. He's 9.5k, 14 minutes in.
Look at that win probability.
It's looking pretty good, 86%.
It's looking insanely good. And you saw why Darkseer is good with Ember that fight. That was a great showcase of what these heroes can do together. Miracle just running all over the place, throwing super fast remnants while being surged, having that Ion Shell damage. He needs to get Demonic Purged every fight, I think. They have to have to slow him down when he goes in, get the surge off, get the Iron Shell off, and buy some space in the fight. Lots of circles being drawn by Crit. We need to invade and get down here. Can't just let them farm.
Or else they'll just be completely unstoppable, Liquid.
But it's easier said than done.
He's still going to fight in a Radiance. He's still going to fight into an Alchemist. He's rapidly approaching BKB.
Bounty runes. Mind control's invisible. He will be too late for that one.
Nice jump up from S4, but GH using his own chakra back against S4. That's why we're seeing the doubles. And Miracle, well, you can try and Demonic Purge all you want, but Miracle is hunting. Can't see, thanks to the fact that it is nighttime. As, well, S4, not exactly where he wants to be. Mind Control starts with, well, actually a Surge and Iron Shell. Timber Chain, it got interrupted. The Stomp from Kuro, but there's no real follow-up. They realize they don't really have enough damage to get through that Timbersaw with 4 points up in reactive armor.
EG got 4 bounty runes at least, so something going their way in that instance. Or did I say 4? I meant 3. The 4th one is still available though. It's sitting up top. Nobody wanted to claim it.
Earning interest.
And now there's an aggressive move bottom. They want to get the Mind Control Darks here. It's a pretty big kill, and that's going to connect easily.
Great start from Crit. GH can't really do anything about this. Quick toss up, and down you'll come. Back because you got him. And so you're on point with TZ going for the combat style. Getting the armlet up and running with Darkseer down. Some space is bought on the bottom lane.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
So you get this kind of cut, but Miracle's still getting top lane. Alchemist still seems to at least control one of the jungles, be able to farm inside the jungles. If you get this kill, what's the next objective? Like, do you look to try and force down tier 2 towers?
I think you need to get the bottom tower if you can. If that's not a possibility, you need to get aggressive vision around the triangle area. You can't just let Weeha play that all the time. He's stacking and farming it every minute. And he's just accumulating too much gold. He has BKB now. Maybe the time is already over. That's the problem. And that's why this hero has been so feared the entire tournament is you make 1 or 2 mistakes in the early game, the punish of this is ridiculously high. At this point, how do you fight into the Alchemist? He has BKB, 16 minutes in. You don't have any you don't have any physical damage. You only have your lifesteal doesn't even have an armlet.
He only
It's
just
coming
gets
out
it now.
Okay, he has it now.
TP's out, but does not have it on his person. And Weeha's ready to fight. Underneath the tower, GH moves up, picks him up, throws him back down again. Arteezy, not forced to rage just yet. He's just hugging a spirit. Oh, and they found the stack inside the jungle. That's nice for Weeha. Miracle can go down to the bottom lane to defend it. But Weeha's just taking EG's resources. And another half stack for Wee. There's actually enough money with a Radiance burn now to pick up a Blink Dagger. So some great jump available.
My god, he's farming.
Yeah.
828 GPM right now, and no signs of any pressure being applied on him by EG anymore in the game. Well, they've killed him once, that's all they did.
That's easy, having his own little battle with Miracle. Weeha jumps in! It's a concoction now, Easy wasn't ready for it. He's got Infested Babel, needs to use it instantly. And maybe with the armor toggle, he'll buy some space. Fly's coming in too. The ET stomp cancelled off here by Fly thanks to the disruption. And does he have a path out of here? Lifestealer, he's hiding for the moment. And Weeha, he doesn't care. He'll dive under the tier 1 tower, taking out Fly. S4 is nearby, but where is Arteezy? Still inside the creep wave. He'll jump back out again. It's a great magnetizer from Crit. Mind Control having a hard time getting away. Disruption will be up. So is the ET splitter. Kuro's going to snap them all together with a back in. EG unwillingly thrown into the canyon. And Miracle will willingly throw him back over towards S4 to try and kill him. Weeha's already done the job on Sumail. And Evil Geniuses, it's Fly who's the one to survive.
Awesome stump from Kuro. He got 3 heroes. He set up for a very easy splitter for himself, and then the vacuum right at the end when it's about to snap. Make sure they all get in nice positions and just get blown up. And this game right now, Toby, it's looking really, really bad for EG. If you're an EG fan, you're worried right now. If
You know how I said Fly survived?
If you're Fly, you're also having a bad time.
That's the dieback. He pulled back in the fight just to come a little closer and then realized the fight was already done. Even underneath their own tier 1 tower in mid, EG can't claim it. And what does Weeha do? Start the farm. EG double TPs forward, and Weeha once again. TZ's home is the safest place to TP out. EG Well, this is not what they want to have happen. You come back, you TP forward, but this fight, fly underneath the tower. It all began with the harassment into Arteezy, though. And then he just was nothing in this fight. He took forever to jump back out, but Kuro...
This roll-in from Crit is really good, but he doesn't have a single point in the grip. I'm honestly really surprised he went 4-4-0 here, because I think with just 1 point in silence there, he can silence multiple heroes that are bound up by the Magnetites, and maybe the outlook of that fight is completely different.
Great concoction from Weeha. Just trying to stop S4. Oh man, and how many stuns have they got? S4 just can't Tivitate to save his life. Sumail, he wants to jump in as well. That's not the toss that he was really looking for. And now it's just Weeha, chemically raged up, beating into this Tiny. He can never blink away. Weeha, in fact, blinks himself forward. Tiny concocted up too, and Weeha, a double kill for him. It's like EG are falling apart at the seams, and well, Liquid happy to put it in. There's that purge going to work. Miracle under the tier 2 tower side of fist. He dodges the rolling in from Crit, but he'll still end up going down. Crit will claim that kill, in fact, but here's your ET splitter once more. Now giving Weeha a triple kill. Crit, he'll jump away with the rolling boulder concocted up, but there's no one that's going to dive onto that tier 2 tower. Not yet from Liquid.
They will back off, respecting that the respawns are coming soon from EG. Still pinging out the bounty rune top. It is indeed still there. Miracle knows. They will TP up the position 5 Kuro. We'll grab this rune. What is it with Liquid and just picking these unorthodox heroes and making them look really good today? Night Stalker first, now the Darkseer, really understanding and having this deep hero pool and experience among their players is coming in handy. The creativity today has been really, really good, and their confidence got to be through the roof. How many games have they won in a row before this game? They won a best of 1, then a best of 3-2-0, and then another best of 3-2-0. So they're currently 6-0 in the lower bracket. And if they were to win this game, which looks overwhelmingly likely, they will be 7-0, unless I'm missing a loss they had. But I don't think so. I think they cleaned house so far.
Yeah, they did.
That's scary.
1-0 through Fnatic, 2-0 through TNC, 2-0 through RNG.
And Fly's dead.
Yep.
Again.
That's his 10th. In 22 minutes. Maybe now Liquid can think about doing, well, they even need to think about doing Roshan. It feels like you may open up an opportunity for EG if you go for that. Just focus on the lanes, focus on the push, focus on the itemization, but I suppose Mech is now done. You are feeling immortal. No, enter the pit.
Alchemist has Assault Cuirass.
Oh my god.
He is super.
Oh my god. All right, sure. You'll take that.
912.
Watch it rise. 19,500 is his overall net worth. The closest to him is Arteezy on 10.5k. And that's rounding up.
Oh, they want to fight mid. He's going to go in.
Blink concoction. They start over on Crit. Flies nearby. Defensive disruption already going to begin, but Weeha still wants to battle into Arteezy. And here we go again with the stomp. The wall is down. Arteezy makes a copy of himself. Stop hitting yourself. As then the pull back. Crit can't get away. Miracle rejoins the fight to get himself a double kill. Searing Chains S4. Defensive Yule Scepter. He's got Chain available, but they've got the stomp perfectly timed from Kuro. A triple kill for Miracle. An evil genius.
Oh, so fast.
There is the real Bloodseeker. They smell it in the water. EG, the trail of blue blood leads to their base. And Liquid, they'll go back to finish Roshan.
This game is completely under control for Liquid right now. All they need to do is not get into a bad team fight. That is the last, that feels like the last chance for EG. You've got to combine all your spells correctly. You got to have this wonderful team fight where maybe you start off killing the Elder Titan. Honestly, he's been such a huge problem in this game in these team fights. But Kuro is tanky. 21 charges, 1,600 health. You don't even kill him with a tiny infest bomb, I think. Or if you do, it takes forever.
Smoke breaks. Time to fight. Look at him go. Almost 700 movement speed. Concoction jumps forward. It won't hit, however. The quick silence over on Weeha, but he did still throw the Concoction. Rage soaked it. EG, they had no chance to Arfu it. You actually had the TP on cooldown for Crit, so he couldn't get close enough to try any kind of shenanigans. So they had to come out as 5 men, but it came way too late. So Liquid claimed the tier 2 tower up in the top lane, leaving still the bottom towers intact for EG, but Liquid can go high ground now if they want to. A fresh BKB for Miracle. They'll TP home to regen up and come back in. I don't know how EG start this fight, apart from like a blink, toss back from Sumail, but he's got no get out of jail free card once he does that. He has to sacrifice his life for it.
They could kick him away after. I mean, we're kind of grasping at straws here because this game is, that is what EG are doing as well. They have to remain optimistic. They have to look for the one miracle play that exists. And I'm not talking about going on Miracle, because that's probably not the play at this point. You need to somehow find a way of completely repositioning an enemy hero. The blink toss is good. Roll in and kicking somebody into towers could work.
It's like you have to catch Weeha out while he doesn't have Aegis or Chemical Rage. Sumail hiding in the trees. Forced up! Oh, we got pushed in. It was GH. It actually broke the trees, gave the information, and Sumail, at that point, he was about 150 gold away from completing his Echo Saber. He's a lot further away now and has no buyback, 100-ish gold away.
I'm hearing some "Let's Go Liquid" in the crowd. They're feeling it. That's.
Oh, he actually gets an Aghanim Scepter instantly.
Miracle.
All right.
All right.
Sure.
Miracle online. He's almost level 18. That will be 5 remnants.
You know, Weeha was actually looking at it, and Miracle had Aghanim Scepter queued up. He was actually looking to buy it himself. It's like, dude, I got money.
I'll help you, buddy.
I've got some money. Maybe a little extra.
Give him a little cookie.
That hero looks so cool. Here comes Liquid. In through the bottom. EG. This defense will be hard. The Spirit Vessel of the ES has to go to work. Just trying to stop Weeha's regeneration with the Chemical Rage up. But here comes Miracle. Aghanim's buffed up. You got the BKB for protection. That's easy. Maybe they have some damage to kill off Miracle. The Side of Fist will do some work, but he's still got one charge that's available too. S4 has to chain himself away to safety. Weeha, he's ready to blink. Concoction's up. And there's the double stun. Backwall combination. That's how you do it. 2 heroes down. They'll buy back. The tier 3 tower has fallen. And Team Liquid, clinical. They will back up from this surgical attack onto the bottom lane. But have they really backed up? We're pulling a Rock's Kiss. It's an old fashion. Pull it out and then get ready to attack again.
Ion Shell, Surge.
Here we go. Rage. Made it out from Martizi. Weeha still with the Aegis. Immortal Chemical Rage on cooldown right now. And EG just do not see the opportunity. It definitely isn't Weeha. Double Sleight of Fist, Searing Chain from Miracle, just creating the space for Weeha. The Spirit's out on top of him too. So Kuro can come in with some damage, a Searing Chain again. Timbersaw controlled this time around. That's easy, gonna rage and dodge the stomp. But this is all cover fire. Multiple layers of protection as Weeha claims the lane of Rax with no answer from EG.
He's gonna immediately continue to take this shrine. Uncle Gaben's calculator says 99 to 1, Toby. I'm thinking about what the 1% is.
Yeah, what is that one?
This game for EG has been, honestly, just been really rough from start to finish. They got into an awkward laning position with a tri-lane Timbersaw to begin with. Didn't really help them out. Weeha got free farm in his lane. Miracle did well in mid. Darkseer had a great time. Everybody on Liquid is super online this game. And for me, this might be Kuro's best performance of the whole tournament, really showing up in this series, in this game in particular. Countless really good stomps. Got the first blood on the rune. Really dominated in his lane to secure Weeha.
And the draft panel, we're talking a lot about that all the time.
Yeah.
It's like, is this really something you want to let through the ban call? Both teams value it highly. EG, we still have to look to them. What is the answer? Right now, it's not buybacks. You've got one on ES, you've got one on the Lifestealer. But initiation starting to arrive as well from Liquid, a Blink Dagger flying out for GH. Sumail, he has the Oblivion stuff. He still can't finish up that Echo Saber because he had to commit the buyback too. S4's, he's got some protection through the Pipe of Insight, but that's even pretty difficult too. Liquid burn through it so quick. Both shrines will now fall outside the base.
I think Weeha's going to buy this Octarine and they'll try to go high ground. I feel like Liquid know this one's in the bag. Finish off your item.
Courier's got it.
He needs another 5 gold.
He's Alchemist.
He's got it now.
He's got it. And they're coming up. Miracle's the front liner this time around. He's got Arcane Rune bottled up, ready to go. Because Weeha doesn't have the Aegis, the Immortal, so maybe they feel a bit better. Arteezy picked up, thrown down, the Concoction will connect. He's able to rage, now allow him to dodge the ET. At least his stomp. The Weeha's back in once again, while the mid Miracle is just soloing up the ES, hitting the back lines with Weeha under the tier 4 towers. No place is safe. S4 defensive Yule Scepter up again, but the Concoction will connect, and Weeha has the double kill. No bike back for S4. Same for Fly. And Arteezy is just wondering, what do I do? I'm beating my head against a wall. While Weeha's beating his blades against my tower. Now Miracle back in again. Another Searing Chain. GH with a blink pickup. They've got some time. Buyback comes in from Arteezy. As the avalanche from Sumail is just a nibble on the back of Mind Control, and here we go. Concoction again. Back up together. Finish it in style. This game's over. There's no way EG can defend this. They've got no heroes. There is no more chances. Liquid, they win 2-0 versus EG, eliminating them from the International and keeping this clean run through the lower bracket. Fnatic, TNC, RNG, and now EG, not a game lost. They are the lower bracket kings.
Now they will go up against the winner of Secret and VG.